Hey, when I tell you to, right, I'm gonna have you turn off the stove and then take that pot off the stove, right? All right, that's how it's gonna be. When I tell you, it's gonna be a while. Oh, no, no, what you doing, boy? But now, yeah.
Do you think it's unfair for him to be impeached for what happened at the Capitol?
Absolutely
It's one of them things where I wanted to feel bad for the whole, but then I was like, man, nah, this whole caused a lot of shit on herself.
I feel like us as Americans, especially Black Americans, we're not too surprised in regards to the whole race aspect of it.
Well, rolling. What's up, everybody? This the Ish We Talk.
All right.
What's happening, everybody? Again, like I said, this is the Ish We Talk. I am Lily. This is my everything on this thing, Miss Lindsay. Um,
Hey.
Today we have our special guest. We have his name shall remain anonymous, except Miss Janie. She decides to say her government name out here. But we got Trump supporter on out here, and we got seven black on here for the Ish We Talk. If you don't know, the Ish We Talk is brought to you by. Hold on, let me pull my stuff up. I always forget. Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you're on Apple Podcasts, please give us a 5-star review so we can keep this thing popping and keep this thing moving. So let's get down to basic. First of all, how's everybody doing right now?
Hey, man,
Doing
I can't
great.
complain. Maintaining.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. We're gonna keep this one on a clear narrative. We're all going to be just on the same platform. We're going to talk about white privilege and do you believe it's real or not? So let's everybody introduce themselves first. Miss Janie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I my name is Janie, and I've known Lindsay probably 8 years. And I can say that thanks to her, I'm a lot more knowledgeable um, with things that pertain to different cultures.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Hmm. All
All
right.
right.
Y'all can hear me good.
Yeah, we
Yes.
can hear you, big bro.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm Andre or Dre. You know, whichever one you prefer. But I'm the world's first black Trump supporter. You know, and I tell everybody like, look, man, if you just hear me out and don't just block me and disown me, I got my reasons and I'm willing to share those, you know, with anybody that's willing to listen. But yeah, that's that. I mean, that's it, I guess.
We definitely willing to listen on this podcast. That's what we do. We not trying to be on nothing disrespectful. We want to hear everybody's opinion. We want to, because what we trying to do is enlighten everybody, so it won't be
Right,
a stigma against uh, believing what you believe in, basically.
right.
So I'm definitely into that. So, but let's get to the task at hand for real. Um,
Yeah. So,
oh my bad. I'm just talking. Lazy. Go ahead. What you gonna say?
okay. So, basically, want to start out with the actual Oxford language definition of white privilege. It's inherent advantages possessed by a white person on the basis of their race in a society characterized by racial inequality and injustice. So let's just start out with the question: do you believe in white privilege? Why or why not?
I definitely don't believe in white privilege. Uh, the reason why I don't believe in white privilege is because first and foremost, everybody got a mind, everybody got a brain and a mind, and they are able to do whatever it is they kind of set their mind to. You know what I'm saying? Now, one thing I will say is that uh there are certain people who kind of they want to keep certain things kind of like hidden from certain people in order to give themselves an advantage. But I really don't believe that race has anything to do with that because if you think about it, it don't really matter who you are. Yo, today, like today in 2021, your life is really based on the decisions that you make. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, it's based on the decision that your parents made at the same time. Although that's not the ultimate determining factor. It's kind of it's like I look at it like this: like us as black people, we tend to make some decisions that can be questionable at times. So it's like if a person made a bad decision, you can't blame that on the system. You just blame that on the decision they made. Like say for instance, we know that the system is kind of like rigged. You know what I'm saying? Like we got we got like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and that whole 94 crime bill that it made sure that we had more people in prison so that they could make more money off the prison industrial complex, right? So that's there. However, it's up to you whether or not you're gonna fall into that trap. You know what I'm saying? The trap was sprung. We're not denying that. But I mean, do that mean go out and sell drugs or go out and do all these things? Like it's up to you. Like even though that's out there for you, you it's up to you what you do. You know what I'm saying? You are ultimately in control. So I feel like white supremacy causes black people to have this victim mentality where they blame everything on the system and they don't take no type of accountability for what it is that they doing. It's like I understand that we got all these things going, but it's ultimately up to you. You ultimately control your destiny, and what it is for me is like it's empowerment. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you just say white supremacy all the time, you're not empowered. You're not feeling like you can do it. You have control. You know what I'm saying? It's like if anything goes wrong, it's the system. It's white people. It's like that's to a certain extent. Like I said, there are people who have a certain vetted interest in certain zip codes stand down on a certain level, it's still ultimately up to you to as far as the decisions you make. Ultimately, it comes down to family and community. You know what I'm saying? Like if we was to stick together and be accountable for each other, it don't matter what type of white privilege or what type of system is going down. You can't stop a group of people that's together and united. And if you really think about it, every group of people that ever united got infiltrated somehow. And that's what ultimately took them down because they got divided. Like the Crips, the Bloods, they all got divided. They start killing each other. But the Black Panthers, but before that, when they was united, they were strong. That's ultimately why they got conquered and infiltrated because they were such a threat and they were so strong when they was unified. So like unification or unity is really what it comes down to, and really nobody can stop that. You know what I'm saying? If you kind of pay attention to history, nobody could stop unity. Ultimately, the people stopped themselves because they stopped being unified. You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, I feel like we, as not even black people, just humans, period, we got way too much power to be talking about some white privilege, because that can't nothing stop humans that unite with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like we too powerful to be stopped by anything. It don't matter because
Hold on,
regardless of your
big bro.
oh
Let
go
me
ahead.
ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a question because because I see where you took it all the way to people being united. So
Right.
um, I want to ask you: do you think that white privilege is from uh, people being united, or do you think it just doesn't exist? Period. Because
Well,
it's like facets of that we can go through. Because I
okay,
mean,
yeah.
you were saying
Basic
people be united, and if you know what I'm saying, white sometimes white people can be united enough to step on people's neck. So it's the same. It'll be the same genre of being privileged because
yeah,
we're not in the privy of being privileged like that with each other to be united.
right, right. Uh basically, like I said, it's a group, it's certain groups of white people who have came together and they have united and said this is what we want to do. And like uh certain people are like their enemy or like they're a threat to them, you know what I'm saying? So they do have to kind of they do kind of have to, do certain things to basically position themselves to be to do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, like if we was all united, the things they trying to do as far as taking over and robbing and stealing and stuff, like they can't do that if we all together. You know what I'm saying? So they have to divide us in order to do that. So it is a certain amount of unity from on their standpoint, so that they can be able to do that. So basically, yeah, that's what it because the few control the many in this country. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a small round table of probably like 12 white men that make the decisions that affect the whole country. You know what I'm saying?
So
And
you don't
that's
believe that's privilege?
it's not necessarily privilege. It comes down to like it really comes down to strategy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what this world it really is. It's all strategy. It's all it's really war and it, like slavery. It comes down to us. We basically signed a bad deal. That's how slavery came about. It ain't like we got victimized and we just got taken advantage of. We really signed a bad deal, and then we allowed them to deceive us into believing that we needed them for something. And then before we know it, they taking everything and robbing Africa for everything it's worth. And now we in this situation. It comes down to we got deceived, we got outplayed. You know what I'm saying? So it is a certain amount of unity on their perspective, on their standpoint. But I don't think that makes them supreme. That just makes them they outsmarted us. We got caught slipping. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And
All right. Let's go to Miss Janie. Miss Janie, do you believe in white privilege? If so, or if why or why not do you believe in white privilege? I should word it like that.
Well,
Right.
up until a few months ago, well, when I text you and I go, is there such a thing as white privilege? I've
Hmm.
never known of this. I don't know if I was born under a rock somewhere, you know, in Arkansas, but I really never knew of this white privilege. I never gave a thought to it because, I've worked so hard my entire life trying to ask the right people the right questions to make myself more knowledgeable about every race. It doesn't matter whether it's, you know, Hispanic, black, you know, Indian. indigenous, it doesn't matter. I try to educate myself as much as I can. So no, I truly, and a lot of people will go, "Oh my God, where is she from?" But I never knew there was a white privilege. I just felt that we were all born with the same hand in cards, and it's all in how we played our cards.
Okay.
Okay, so um you've now been aware of the term and you've educated yourself on the ideology of white privilege, do you believe in it?
Not any more than I do any other privilege. Let me clarify this. Okay, so I'm going to go back a few years, and um, my husband and I were out by Truman Hospital. Okay, and we thought, okay, we're going to run over here across the street. It's really close, and we're going to get something to eat. And they waited on everybody in front of us, behind us, and everything else because, and at the time I didn't think about it because of the color of my skin being white, because I never been, I mean, Lindsay, you can vouch for this. I mean, I've never really been around, you know, a lot of black people. I don't know why. That's the greatest thing I got from AIG. You know what I mean? I mean, fortunately or unfortunately, I lost my job in November with a company due to COVID. But I mean, I learned so much and I continue to learn so much. I think that, to kind of go back on what Andre said is I wholeheartedly feel like it's that one makes. I mean, it's kind of like I could say that my nephew was profiled as a teenager because every time I turned around, he was getting pulled over. Was it because of the car he drove? Was it because of where he was at? Was it because of the time of day or night? I can't answer that. And he's a white kid. So I think that everybody gets profiled in certain aspects of life. And to me that is sad.
Okay.
Mhm.
Let me ask both of you guys a question, and you guys can answer it um, either way, however way you want to answer it. But I want to know because I think both of y'all kind of have the same idea, um, but like Dre's wording it a different way from the lovely Miss Janie. But
Oh,
so but I want to know this because y'all have this thing about white privilege. So let's put in perspective of if do you think that you would fear getting harassed by the police more than I would?
I can't answer that because I'm not you. You know,
I get that, but let's not say you're not me because like gender roles or where we at in positions of life. It's just like white and black.
Okay, before you do that, I want to introduce Meeks. Meeks just entered the discussion.
What up,
Hi
Meeks?
guys.
Mhm.
All right, so sorry about that. Continue.
Yeah, I just want to know, like, just on the issue, okay, let me word it this way. Who would you feel that the outcome would be better for if a white woman got pulled over by the police or if I got pulled over by the police?
White woman.
And why do you feel that way?
Because Well, one, I'm going to be scared. I'm going to be shaking in my shoes. I'm just trying to keep it clean and straight and narrow here by being
You
pulled
can shoot
over.
from the gut, Miss Janie. You can say how you feel.
Well, I'm going to probably crap my pants because I'm being pulled over, number one.
True.
And I'll want to throw up for number two.
Okay.
Mhm.
um, and, now I'm basing this on, you know, what I presume, and shame on me. But, I'm going to put my hands on the wheel and I'm going to roll down my window. I'm going to go, yep. You know what I mean? Now, I don't know what you're going to do. I can't say that you're going to go, what did I do wrong? I don't know. I
Yeah.
have no idea how you're going to react.
I'm gonna do the same thing you're gonna do, Miss Janie. The difference is I have a fear because I might lose my life that day. You don't have a fear that you're gonna lose your life over there.
Sure, I do because I have a gun in my car.
I have a gun in my
Right.
car, but the difference is when you tell them you have a gun in your car and it's registered, they're not gonna drag you out. They're gonna drag me out, even though I say it's registered and I have my credentials in my pocket.
Seriously?
It's seriously.
All right.
I'm, yeah, I'm not even making a joke about that. That I mean, I'm
Let
because
me
I'm not trying to shoot you down.
No,
I'm
no,
just
I understand.
that's you know what I'm saying. That's that to me. That's what privilege is. It's the privilege of knowing you're gonna go home to your kids. I don't have that privilege.
let me piggyback on that if I
Buddy.
could.
Oh,
Now I disagree with you, Troy. I feel like that's a little bit of a hypothetical. I feel like I mean
Okay.
I got pulled over like probably a few weeks ago, right? I was in Prairie Village, and I just put my hands on the wheel. I was cool, calm, and collected. What's going on? What can I? What's the issue, officer? And he just. I feel like it was BS. Uh, Now I don't think that had a lot to do with profiling. I think that had to do with, yeah, he was just sitting there. He was looking to pull over somebody. Now, as far as like fearing for your life and everything, okay, based off just what I have seen, okay, what I have seen when I kind of analyze the situations when they go down, I feel like just like I said about the white privilege, it kind of comes down to decision making. What I have seen is I have seen people make bad decisions when they get pulled over. And I think that you can kind of attribute some of this to the media because the media kind of paints this narrative that white cops are out hunting for black people and they want to shoot a black person because just for sport or something like that. I disagree with that because I've been pulled over a few times and I never had a problem with a white cop. I got pulled over by one black cop, but most of the cops that pulled me over was white. I don't think that got nothing to do with profiling. I just think that got to do with whatever. It's just random. But
So
I never
how?
had an issue.
Sorry.
Can,
How do you
can I
feel
say
about
something, Troy?
Miss Theo? Oh, I'm sorry, Miss. Yeah, Miss, you can say something.
Okay, Trump supporter. So you
Yeah.
said the cop was just sitting there, and you don't think he pulled you over because of racial profiling. He was just sitting there, and he happened to
Yeah.
see you drive past in Prairie Village, and you don't think he pulled you over because you was black.
No,
What's
because
up,
it was
DJ?
dark. It was dark, so he didn't
He
see who I
he can
was.
still see. So he was. So how was he sitting? Could he actually see you, like where his lights was on or his lights was off?
I
Because
don't
you can
remember
get
that
you can
part.
still see in the dark enough to see if a person is black or white if
Right,
you're
right.
sitting there looking at the cars pass by.
I get what you're saying. Just let me finish this point real quick, and then we'll get
Okay,
back
and
to
then I
that.
want to tell you a story about me
All
and a
right,
cop.
all right, cool, 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 cool. So from what I have seen, strictly off what I have seen, it's this YouTube channel called Police Activity, and they have straight unadulterated dash cam video of what be going on with the cops. Every time I see a black person get shot, it's because they make a bad decision. Now, like I said, I think the media has a lot to do with this because I seen one video where a lady said, "You're not finna make me a statistic. I'm not finna be a hashtag." And she was all emotionally charged before the situation even took place. So I think that like the media can put a lot of fear into people thinking that we're hunted by cops. From what I've seen, it's just decision making. They do something that they shouldn't do. I think that all black people should know if you get pulled over, don't reach for nothing. And this is white people, black people, anybody that get pulled over. Don't reach for nothing. Just it's simple. It's so simple. Like they're gonna ask for something, give it to them. You know, keep your hands in sight. But other than that, I've seen situations where people run back to the car. If you run back to the car, that officer don't know what you finna do. Also, if you do something, this is a thing. Like a lot of people don't understand, and I actually got law enforcement training. I'm a former correctional officer, so I understand. Like if you get in the car and like start driving recklessly, that car can be looked at as a deadly weapon, which it can be, because you can run somebody over. But you got to understand the police
I'm
job.
gonna ask that too, Charlie.
The police job is to protect and serve. So if you seeming like you finna run somebody over down the street, their my mentality is and their training tells them to protect that person. So they're gonna neutralize you as a threat. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna shoot you basically. So it's like it's a what I've seen is people doing things that are a threat, a deadly threat to the police officer. And but also we have an issue where the media is demonizing police officers and making them seem like they're just out hunting for black people, and I disagree wholeheartedly with that because I have not seen it. I've seen a lot of video on different situations. I just did not see where the cop was hunting for a black person to kill for sport, for a trophy or something. I don't see it. I disagree wholeheartedly with that narrative. I think
Okay,
that most cops, 80% of cops are just protecting and serving and putting their life on the line, risking their life for their communities. Maybe 20% are bad people, separate from being a police officer, but most of them are protecting and serving and sacrificing for their community.
okay,
And they get put in positions and they have to make split second decisions and they end up shooting.
and I get that. So and going with your narrative and how you feel about that. How do you feel about Philando?
Uh, Castillo.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that was probably the only situation that was like I didn't agree with that. I think that was wrong. But if you take into consideration all the other ones, that's the only one I really disagree with.
Okay, but taking in consideration of that, because what we're in, what this whole thing is about is do of white privilege, or do we think, it's a they have a certain advantage now, putting Philando in that situation with the YouTube guy that went viral, that showed his weapon and cussed the cops out from here to Sunday and got to drive away, well, actually got to speed away, you
Mm-hmm.
know like, so do you not see the difference in that? Do you not see the privilege in that? Is because he didn't get the he told him he was truthful and still got
Mm-hmm.
killed that day, where dude refused to do everything that they told him to do and drove off on him and still is breathing right now.
Right.
So do you
So
like it's not a privilege in that?
to answer your question, no, I don't necessarily believe because statistically speaking, strictly statistics,
Oh,
more white people get killed by the cops than black people. There are more situations where white people want to commit suicide and they sit there and reach for a cop gun or do something stupid and get themselves killed by the police. There's more
but that's their
situations
fault though,
where,
bro. That's what they want to do, because I know what you're talking about. That's called death by cop.
yeah,
But
yeah,
people don't want death by cop, but they still get it.
I'm saying that I'm just not. I'm not saying just strictly death by cop. I'm just saying numbers wise, it's more white people that get killed by the cops than black people. You even got media influencing these cops' decisions, and they be hesitant because they don't want to be a Derek Chauvin and you know what I'm saying, be put on trial, and so they being hesitant. But at the end of the day, it's more white people than black people getting killed by the cops. So statistically speaking, strictly statistics, I do not believe that that white people are safer when they get pulled over. I feel like cops are extensively trained and their job is to protect and serve. The media has been demonizing cops. So they're looked at like they're just these terrible people. I know plenty of cops. One of my best friends from high school, his daddy is a cop, a black cop. He's a tremendous cop. He's excellent at his job. And that's how I see the police force. You know what I'm saying? I don't see them as demons. I see them as people who are normal human beings. And I feel like we have a media who is dehumanizing the police, making them seem like killing machines that's just trained or not even trained, just got it in their brain to just kill a black person when they see them. That's not the case. They're protecting and serving their community. And at the end of the day, they got a family or something to go home to. They're not even trying to kill nobody because that's gonna be on their conscience for one. They're not just trying to kill somebody. They're trying to protect and serve their community. When the situation goes down, they got a split second decision to think I need to neutralize this threat. So you use lethal force. You know what I'm saying? But isn't from what I've seen,
But
and
if
I've
you do
seen
you use do you use lethal force? And after this, I don't mean to cut you off, bro, but I want everybody else
oh
to talk.
right, right,
Uh,
right. I feel you. I
uh,
feel you.
do you use lethal force strictly with black people? Because I don't see you. I don't see them using it with everyone else.
I do. I do see them using it like
But
like I
this,
said, it's been more
this
white
is
people than
how the media,
black people.
how the media works. We don't see it. Like you said, you see it. But as the media
Right,
works, we don't see that. We see
right,
them using deadly force with us.
right, right.
Um, but like I said, I don't. Like I said, I don't, I'm not trying to cut you off, but I want to hear what Miss Janie feels, and I want to hear what Meeks
All right.
feels. Miss Janie, how you feel?
Well, like you said, it's what the media shows us. It's
Yeah.
not, I mean, what sells? A white cop or any cop, that is showing force against black people. And I think that if media is the worst thing for this country right now, I mean, it's going to kill us because it's to me, the media divides us.
I believe that.
I mean, now you had asked me earlier if you and I both got pulled over. Now let's take it a little bit further. If you or my husband, let's make it equal. If you or my husband was pulled over, I truly believe in my heart of hearts, I would like to think that you two would not be treated any differently.
I'll show you.
The-
Go
uh,
ahead.
okay,
It
so
is.
so
Go
you
ahead.
believe like so, and certain demographics and certain areas, especially urban areas. If your husband got pulled over when I got pulled over, you believe that we'll be treated the same. But do you have a? I just want to know, do you have an actual knowledge that we don't like? Because a lot of people like, because I want to believe that we'll be treated the same too, but I have a knowledge that knows that 9 times out of 10 we won't be.
Well, my question is, why was Trump supporter pulled over in Prairie Village?
Oh, that's a good one. You can
I
answer it.
mean, seriously, were you? I mean, sorry. One, were you speeding? Did you get a ticket?
No,
I mean,
it was complete BS. I did get a ticket though. He claimed I was door dashing. He claimed that I stopped in the middle of the road, but I pulled over to deliver the food. But that's another story.
oh, okay, okay. So you stopped in the middle. For whatever reason, he feels that you were not out of the road enough, and
Right.
that's why. Okay, so it's not like you were on your own time just driving
Yeah.
around
No,
randomly
I was DoorDash.
looking all suspicious.
Not at all.
So, was he nice about it?
He was cool. I mean, he was. It wasn't
Well, I'm going to be
nothing
blunt. I mean,
crazy.
was he being a dick about it or not? I mean,
Nah, not at all. Not at all. I mean, he was. I feel like the stop was unnecessary, but him pulling me over, it was cool. And like I said, I'm a former corrections officer. I have a lot of like law enforcement connections. I know quite a few law enforcement officers. Some of them are complete dicks, and we talking about just as humans, not even
right,
cops.
right,
So I think that like somewhere along the lines, because they do get a psychological evaluation, but it's easy to pass that. I think that somewhere along the lines, we gotta try to figure out how to weed out the bad humans, objectively bad humans. But other than that, most of them are just normal people. And like at the end of the day, we're humans. We all have somebody that love us. You know what I'm saying? Like like I wrote this down so I could remember it, Toy, because you said we don't see it. Exactly, because the media, like she said, the media, that's my ultimate point. The media is the enemy in this situation because they only show what they want to show. They only show, like, you black people say this to me all the time. What about this person? What about that person? What about this person? Look, it's more white people than black people, okay? So all them black people you talking about is more white people than that. Why they not showing every single person?
It's
I'm about
more
to
Like,
white
if
go
you
people.
ahead.
if you gonna cover it,
Period.
show every single person that died to the police thing.
But
Why you just talking about white black people that died to white cops?
because
Show white
it's
people
more
dying to white
people.
cops.
It's more white people. Period. So you keep
Yes.
saying it's more
It don't
white
matter.
people by numbers.
Show
Yes,
every situation, not just the
by,
black people.
but
Every
I
situation, every time it happens.
I have seen videos where white people are being killed by
Let's
cops.
ask your questions. We're gonna
The
get
difference is in the videos where the white people that I've seen being killed by cops, they are doing everything to get killed by cops.
bam.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? The black people that you see are not doing any, they're doing literally everything that the cop is asking them to do, and they still are getting killed. And even before the cop can even get on the scene to ask them anything, they're shooting them down like a dog in the street, i.e., Tamir Rice, 12-year-old boy in the park playing with a BB gun. Nothing is illegal about that. Somebody calls the cops on them. 2 seconds after the cops get on the scene, they're not even out of the car. They shoot them down like a dog. They shoot that 12-year-old boy down like a dog in the street.
Mhm.
Why you will never see a video of them doing that to a white kid because of what? Them doing that
Wait a
to a
minute.
black.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't think you can say that because
I
that's a
don't think people
hypothetical.
do that.
I
Video
don't
where
believe we can
that to
sit
a
here and
white
talk in
kid.
hypotheticals. I don't think we can say that'll never happen to it. We don't know. We don't know.
Okay,
We don't
well,
have nothing to
where's
go
the
off of.
evidence? There's no evidence where within 2 seconds of them arriving on the scene of them shooting a white person. There's no evidence of that because it doesn't happen.
It's not. It's not. That's the exact reason why I don't believe we can speak in any hypothetical. We just don't have the evidence.
We're speaking
That's
facts.
not
That's
hypothetical
not
though,
a
bro. That's
fact.
actually happening.
That literally
I know. I
happened.
know.
Literally
But
happened.
to say that that would never happen to a
A 12-year-old child within 2 seconds of you hopping on the scene and you're not even getting out the car to see what's going on. There's nothing that
yeah,
justifies that. So let's get Mix in
true.
on the conversation.
All
Mix,
right, let me
Hi,
run real
thanks,
quick.
guys. Trump supporter. I have
Yeah,
a couple of things to. Okay,
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
so you're saying, and we all know this. There's more white people than black people. So why is
Statistically
it?
speaking, that's fact.
So why is it when you go to court, all you see in that courtroom it's black people and Hispanics. You might see one or two white people out of, and this is just talking about traffic stops. If it's more white people than black people, why is it it's more of us in the courtrooms, it's more of us in the jails if they're not basically pretty much looking to pull us over as black people or brown people or whatever it is. Now that's what doesn't make sense. That math does not add up. So I don't see how you're saying
Well,
no white privilege, that's not a real thing. That is a real
mm,
thing. Now,
my
yes, you're saying that okay, it depends on the family that you were raised in. I came up with a huge close knit family. We kick it all
mhm,
the time. We do everything, and
right.
that's my folks. And if I need something, that's who I'm gonna go to. We're not out here selling drugs and doing blah blah blah, whatever, whatever. But guess what? I still got stopped by the police, went to jail and everything for absolutely no reason. I'm gonna tell you what I did. I was leaving my friend's house, pulled off. It was probably about 10 o'clock at night, and we just like on we on South Benton, so this is not a busy street, nothing like that. Pulled off. I see this car just driving real crazy behind me, so I just waited at the stop sign to like let them do what they were doing because I'm like, I don't know if they getting chased by somebody or what's going on. So I stop and they like pull up real close behind me. And I was like, oh, it's the cops. So they about to act stupid. And this is not the first time that this has happened with me pulling off of that block. So this was my second encounter. To have my blinker on, turn right, got down the prospect, turn right, use my blinker, use everything. I'm talking about my car is tagged. I keep my registration, got my insurance. I don't drive illegally. The only thing that I do illegal is speed. If I'm speeding, I did it. If anything else, you're lying. So
Hmm.
he pulls me over. I had my license and my insurance. I had it out, just sitting like wait in my hand, waiting to hand it to him till he pulled. He walked up, and so he walks up and he's like, what did he say? Did he say no? He was like, can I see your license or registration, whatever? And I gave it to him. So, he's fine or whatever. And my friend is in the car with me. It's a black man and he's really tall. So I think a lot of issues that that white cops have with black people is they're very intimidated by black men. So
Hmm.
that is the problem in itself. If you're
I can
intimidated
agree
by
with that.
black people, you need to go in the white people's area and
I can agree
do
with
your
that.
little whatever there because you don't need to be working in the black neighborhoods if you're
I can
scared
agree
or
wholeheartedly with
intimidated
that.
by black men. That's what's causing them to do what they're doing. And I don't think every cop is bad. I know every cop is not bad, but there are some of them have been bullied when they were in high school, so they just out to do whatever they want to do to people and they hide behind this
Yeah.
badge. And you kill
Yeah.
somebody like George Floyd, that man didn't have a weapon. I've seen plenty of videos where white people are fighting against the cops and acting crazy. Do they get shot or choked to death? No. George Floyd was a modern day lynching. I don't care what none of y'all say. That's why I would not watch that video. That is crazy that happened to that man. I don't care if he was whatever drugs he was on. That had nothing to do. That didn't mean take his life. How
Yeah.
many people
Nah,
are on drugs
it didn't.
in the America right now? Like you
That
cannot explain this to me and tell me this is okay. He shouldn't have blah blah blah. Like that doesn't make
nah.
if he
I would
wasn't
never say that.
Uh-uh.
I'll go ahead. My bad.
And she got skipped. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. She hung up. She got so excited. She was like, "Fuck this!" Wow. Like I don't know.
uh,
sorry
listen,
guys, I
listen.
pressed the button on accident.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
we were showing like what happened. You was making a point, and then you was like,
No, because seriously, if he wasn't doing something to put their life in danger, this man is in handcuffs. I
He
don't
wasn't.
care. It's
He
three of
didn't.
y'all. He's in handcuffs. Me and my girls would think we tear a dude up, and it's three of us, and he ain't in handcuffs. So you,
He
as
didn't
a
do
man,
nothing.
and y'all
You
being
right.
three men on top of this one man with these handcuffs on, what can he do? And
This is
why
my
did y'all
thing.
take him out the car? He was in the car. Push him in there or close the door and gone about getting him to the police station. I don't understand.
All right. Now with that, he didn't do nothing to get killed. Like I talked about decision making, where I seen a lot of situations where people made bad decisions and they got killed. He didn't make no bad decision that got him killed.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
So what did he
I
do that got
almost
him
don't
killed,
even.
other than him being black?
I almost don't even want to touch this because it's so touchy. But he didn't. They didn't. They didn't even kill him. The fentanyl killed him, and that's
Nah, big
No, no,
brother.
no, no,
Nah,
no,
big
no, no,
brother.
no, no,
That
no, no, no. We're
I'm a,
not doing that.
listen,
We're not
I'm
listen. Yes,
doing that,
yes, we are.
listen,
Listen,
listen. Hold
bro.
the
on, though. Hold on,
autopsy,
bro.
the
Before we,
autopsy, the
hold
Listen, I
on,
don't
autopsy.
believe no
because I know
autopsy.
about
You
the
know why?
autopsy too. Before
Because
we
they
go any
cover up
further
stuff
into
like
this,
that. And for you to even believe that, if you
No,
watch
no,
the
no, no,
video,
no, no,
I
no.
did not. I
No,
did not
that's
watch
just
the
what I
video.
believe. That's just what
I
I
would
believe.
not watch the video.
Don't
But you
criticize my
cannot make
belief.
me
That's just
believe
what
that
I
that
believe.
man did
I ain't
I'm
for
not
criticizing.
that.
gonna
If
try
he
to.
wouldn't have sat
Don't
on
try
his
to.
neck
I'm
for
not gonna
nine
try to
plus
make you
minutes,
believe nothing.
that man would
Hold
still.
on,
That man wouldn't have
Dre
Okay,
been
and
out
Mix.
there.
okay.
Dre and
White
Mix.
girl
Hold
here.
on, y'all. Hold on,
Wait,
because
no,
I don't want
hey,
to take that far.
white girl here.
Hey, what's up, Miss Jamie?
Go
Hey,
ahead. Go ahead.
so here's my question, or here's my scenario. Now, I will agree. He's in handcuffs. He's face down. What's he going to do? Crawl away like a worm?
That part was
Nope.
wrong, and I wholeheartedly admit that. They
Now,
should not have done it.
they should, and that should never have happened.
Exactly.
Never.
However, if you think for 1 minute, and don't, please understand, I have
I know what
friends
you
in law
finna say.
enforcement, I have family in law enforcement,
I know what you finna say. If you
and
believe
some
that
of them
position
are
killed
good
him,
Hold on,
and
let her
some of them
speak.
aren't. But how do you know? Because of, let's go back to the freaking media. We don't know that that's never happened to a white man because it's
okay.
never been put where?
On
On
TV.
television, on YouTube, on every aspect of social media. Now, I can say that, the drugs that he had taken, the fentanyl, blah, 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 the autopsies here, the autopsy there, blah, blah, blah. You know what? At the end of the day, there were a lot of things that were done wrong and should have never happened.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
The man
Absolutely.
is dead now, and
Absolutely.
I feel badly for that. I didn't do it, but I don't think we have the right to point the finger at any one particular thing. I think with the amount of drugs that was in his system, one, he's already hyped up and his blood's pumping
Absolutely.
and all
Absolutely.
that. And he's going to be on the
Delirious.
offense or the defense. And now
Absolutely.
somebody else is holding him down the way they did for, I believe, as they put it a million times, 9 minutes.
8 minutes and 46 seconds.
There you go. I mean, we've only seen the video a million times. Okay, it's wrong. Those gentlemen are being dealt with, in my opinion. I hope. It's not for me to decide, but we don't know that has never happened to a white man because why? The media doesn't put it freaking out there.
We don't know. And okay, so I want to establish a couple things first and foremost. First and foremost, I do believe that Derek Chauvin should do some serious jail time because guess what? Like I keep saying, I'm former law enforcement. I know how this stuff works. If you end up putting your look the knee on the neck didn't kill him, but if you put your knee on his neck and he end up dying, that look bad. That look bad for the whole force. So you got to be the scapegoat for that. And I firmly believe that Derek Chauvin should do some time. You know
So
what I'm
you
saying?
rather call
Because
him a scapegoat than a murderer?
Right.
no, I'm just saying that's how it goes. That's the politics of the situation. You're gonna be a scapegoat because it looks bad for the force. So
I mean,
you got to
because I
go
mean,
ahead.
force aside, bro. Because I mean, I wanna, I really want to, like, be, I guess, understand your side of it, but um, the fentanyl didn't, or whatever drugs he had didn't have nothing to do with the lack of air he received from somebody standing on his neck. So that man murdered him.
There was no
I'm
asphyxiation
curious.
in
I'm
his
curious to know what your thought was prior to the trial. because that didn't
it's
really
not.
come out about the drug stuff until 2 weeks
I
ago when they started the trial. So
no,
what
I
was
saw the
your not
video. I saw the video long
so
time ago.
watching
The
the
entire
video,
video.
you thought of drugs. Watching the video
Listen,
made you automatically think drugs.
I saw the video so long ago. The video
But
that the media didn't show.
watching the video prior to this trial, watching the video, you automatically thought he died of drugs.
Yes, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because that position ain't no deadly position. When he had his knee on
How
his
is
neck, he
how
had
is
his knee on the back of his
not
neck.
how is a
He had,
knee to the neck not a deadly position? So
because he
I
had
can
his
come
knee
to
on
one
the
and go
back of his
sleep
neck.
right now, and I can stay there the whole afternoon, and you gonna live?
How about just all three of
That's
them being on top of him? That's gonna take the air out of you. Somebody
Yeah.
putting all they weight on
Somebody's
you, and it's three
there's
guys. You
blood on
can't
his
tell
knees
me that's
down
not
his
gonna
that's
take
not a
the
lungs.
air
deadly
out of you.
position. Listen, there
The,
was no asphyxiation in the autopsy. It
It
they
was
was.
just
They
had the
stitched
just
on.
they
medical
just did it.
examiner
Yeah,
on the
they just did
trial.
that. They just had the trial that said it was.
The medical examiner just said it in the trial. He said that drugs don't make you suffocate. He just said it. They just said it on the trial. The
All right,
medical examiner just said it.
I'm gonna let y'all have that. But what I'm gonna say is I seen the video
That's what
way
made.
back when before the media got a hold of it and start putting their spin on it and pushing their narrative.
There was no spin to be put on it. All they did was watch the video or play the video.
Look,
There was
I
no
can link it to you. I can link it to you. There's a 30-minute video where when they pulled up on him because he had well, I ain't even gonna say that because that ain't got nothing to do with it. When they pulled up on him, he was already talking about he couldn't breathe. Come on, please. He was off that
all the
fentanyl.
more reason why they shouldn't have did what they did if that's the case.
Bam. That's what I
What
was
you
about.
say? Say
If
that
they
again. Say that again. Say that one more time.
breathe, why make it so that he can't breathe even more?
Like
What's
I
that?
said, that wasn't a good move. That wasn't a good look. That was not a good decision on Derek Chauvin's part and the other officers. That was,
He murdered
but
him.
what I'm
He murdered him.
no
Yeah,
look
hold on.
if
In
they're
your
not
logic, hold on, bro. I'm going because I don't want to cut you off, but I'm going on your logic. In your logic, if you told me, bro, I ain't feeling good, I'm having an asthma attack, and I decided to choke your ass out, like not because I would never do that, bro. We way too better than that. But if I decided to do that while you were having an asthma attack, should I blame that on asthma or should I blame that on me choking you out?
all right. That situation, I see where you're going, but that would be hard to prove. Like, did I die from asthma or did I die from choking? Either way, I was choking. I feel like
The same
okay,
rules
you know
apply though.
what? You know what? All right, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you got to give me that, bro.
Listen though, what I'm saying is that the autopsy did not show asphyxiation as far as that position that he had. That's not even deadly. If he was right here, that's deadly. But that no asphyxiation is taking place if you on the back of somebody's neck, bro. It's not
That's a
taking place.
UFC move. That's a UFC move to make you go to sleep. So that actually does cut off the circulation, your breathing circulation. And they even had people to go up there and tell about that position. So that actually is a position to stop you from breathing.
And it was illegal. The chief of police testified
Regardless,
that went against their training.
regardless of that, I understand all of that. I'm not disputing that. What I'm disputing is the fact that the autopsy, the original one, did not show no asphyxiation. It showed heavy concentration of fentanyl. That's all I'm saying. It showed. That's what it showed.
So
So what
you're willing to believe the outside? Listen, they can if they can let these people get off on anything. You willing to believe that they can't go in there and be like, yeah, just say it.
And
Like, quit
they
playing with me. Stop playing. We are living.
they
I'm
You
not
know
playing.
how
I
this
don't play.
world is.
I
You
don't
know
play. I'm
how
not
this
playing.
country is.
I'm never
Stop
gonna
it.
play. I
but
don't
they
play.
testified that when they did it initially, they was going off of what the police was saying.
My cousin Shonda said that wasn't the original autopsy either. It was two autopsies, and that wasn't the
All right.
original
Two
autopsy.
autopsies. So I ain't gonna argue one autopsy versus another. Who's right and who's
Right,
wrong? Who
right,
knows?
right, right,
Whatever.
right.
But
I'm
they
just, yeah, I'm
they
just,
said they
Like I
went
said,
off
big
of
brother, I'm just speaking on everything. My bad,
yeah,
Lindsay. I'm
but
just
they
I want everybody to have their turn.
but they said in the trial they were going off of what the police said. The police lied about the situation, of course, to cover their ass. So they testified that like
Hmm.
so.
Hmm.
And Trump
I saw
supporter,
the
when you
video.
say scapegoat, what do you mean by that? When you say he's their scapegoat?
All I'm saying is that if that ever happens, you're gonna go down for that. That's just the politics of the situation you're in. I don't believe that Derek Chauvin is a murderer, but I do believe that what he did was very, very, very wrong, and he shouldn't have done it. And now that there's a dead person on your hands, I think
Facts.
that there's consequences that should come with that. So don't think I'm saying that Derek Chauvin is innocent. People get it twisted, like, oh, he's innocent. The white man is innocent. Let him. No, he's not innocent. What he did was wrong, but I don't believe he murdered him. I don't believe that he killed him. But I do believe what he did was dead wrong, though.
So you don't think he murdered him,
No.
but what he did was wrong. So you think he should go to jail for what? For the part
Yes,
that he.
absolutely. I
But if
said
he
that.
didn't murder him, what is he going to jail for? For what?
Uh,
What's the part that we gonna convict him on? Since he wasn't the cause of this man's death,
shit,
what
straight
is
up
he going to
assault.
jail for?
Straight assault. Like what the fuck? You can't just you. There's no reason for you to put your knee on nobody's neck and for no extended period of time when they got handcuffs on them. When they got handcuffs on them, bring them up.
Oh, so
Bring them
for
up.
assault, he's gonna go to jail for assault. Do you know how many police officers will be in jail for assault?
I'm just
They
saying.
beat up people every day. What do you mean? And
I'm
not just
saying
black people. And I've actually seen a video where they did do they wasn't on his neck, but a white man died in their care that was on drugs, and they had him on the ground like that. I don't remember how long they were on him or whatever, but they killed him. And no, we didn't hear about that in the media.
exactly.
So
That's why I was
yes,
just gonna
they'll
ask
that
you.
I think they are that badge. They believe they can get away with anything.
Let me
It's
ask
not,
you one
and a
question.
lot of times, yes, it is an issue with black people, black men especially,
One
because
question.
they are intimidated by y'all. That's
One question.
period.
One question. Then I'm gonna step back after I ask this question. So when that white dude died, how come they didn't talk about that for all in the media for 6 months straight and push a whole narrative behind it?
I don't know, but guess what? I didn't
Good
agree
question,
with it,
though.
and I think them cops should have went to jail. I think they should go
So
to
what's
jail
the
whenever they
difference?
do something wrong, not just to
What's the
black people,
difference?
but to anybody. But the problem
What,
is, they don't go to jail. They get to go home and be with their families. Them
yeah.
other two cops didn't get nothing. They at home with their families, chilling, living life. That's the part
Hmm.
that we're talking about. And guess what? When people are like, "Well, if they did something wrong, if you saw the video, you know they did something wrong. So where does the if come in? And the jurors, they probably won't convict them, just like they never do. But we'll see how that goes. But it's like, oh, they're a
They,
cop, so you should make sure you listen. Like, I can listen, but I can also say what I want. It's not against the law for me to
yeah.
say
It's
what
not.
I want to the
It's
cops,
not. It's
whether
not.
it
It's
be
not.
cussing them out or whatever it is, as long as I'm not assaulting you, trying to hit you with my car, trying to shoot you, that don't give
Mm.
you a right to try to kill me
It
or to
don't.
beat me up or none of that.
It don't. I
So okay,
wholeheartedly
so where
agree.
are we going? This man didn't have a weapon. He couldn't kill y'all. So why is he dead?
Where we going is that the police didn't kill him. That's where we going. The
The
fentanyl
police
killed him.
absolutely killed him. I listen, if somebody lays
Okay.
on you, listen, if my dude lay on me and put all his weight on me, I'm gonna have a hard time breathing because all
You
of
got
his
a big
weight is
ass
on me.
nigga, man.
So do you think that all three of them on this man, one on his legs, one on his back, one on his neck, that's not gonna take his oxygen away from him? And then y'all up there for dang near 10 minutes? Really? You
All I'm
think that's
saying
not
is,
gonna take? And then people are pleading for them to get off of him. And guess what? Nobody intervened. You know why? Because they all knew, especially the black ones, if I try to help this man, they're gonna shoot me down like a dog in the street. So,
There was
and
a
that's
fighter
where the
fighter.
white privilege comes in. Because
There
they
was
knew if
a
I
fighter
try to
fighter.
help this man, I'm gonna get shot down as well.
There was a
And
fighter fighter that was on the scene that was trying to help, and they told her not to. They told her to get away. She
that's what
testified
they're
in
always
the
gonna
trial,
do.
but she was trying to tell. She was even trying to tell them while she was stand in a way like y'all are going to kill him. Y'all need to do this. Can y'all at least check for a pulse? Like there were so many ways. There was so much time where they could have saved his life, and they didn't. That was deliberate. It got to a point where it was deliberate. It got to
Okay.
a point where it was deliberate.
I
Okay.
just got somebody to time in on my live to say that in the trial they said that the cop used 91% of his body weight on on Mr. Floyd's neck.
Okay.
And you can
So
snap somebody's neck from the back. You know,
again,
like
it,
just because he was suffocating him from the back, don't mean that he can't get suffocated.
Okay.
and this is the thing. I want to interact and tell everybody that because I agree wholeheartedly with both with Miss Janie and my man Dre when it comes to the media. But at the same time, we have to understand that before the media became this big old conglomerate of what they want you to see, they've been displaying that they've been killing us for years with no type of disrespectful action or consequences. Um, uh, we can go all the way from Emmett Till to just black people getting lynched and burnt and everything in front of their children and people sending postcards to their family with the lynching they just did because it's always been something that they praised. So that's one of the things where I'm so adamant about trying to let people know because I know every white person doesn't understand their privilege, and my thing is it's when I say privilege, it's not like they throw out the red carpet for you, but you do get certain amenities that I don't get to have. And
I
one thing,
disagree.
and no, I do agree because I'm a black man. Because one thing I do
I'm
agree
a
on
black man too.
is and I know you are, bro. But what I'm saying is it's a lot of times I done been places where I've been totally terrified, where some of my white homies will not be. That's this is what that's the privilege to me. It is it's certain privileges of of being carefree or not carefree, but not having to worry about a situation where I would be worried about it.
Let me ask one question though. Where please quantify for me Janie's privilege. Where is Janie's privilege? What is her privilege?
What
If you Janie, you want to chime in, tell us what your privilege is. What privileges do you have over me and Troy?
Well, I'm going to be kind of blunt here. I'd kind of like to fucking know that right now.
Exactly.
I love it, Miss
Where's
Jenny.
the privilege?
I'm sorry. And here, let me explain why I say this. I mean, I was raised by a single mother,
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
okay? Alcoholic father.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Stop your laughing. Wait, maybe that was before. I've got a delay because I've got my laptop up, but it's muted. I was going to give Lindsay some crap there.
Oh
But
yeah,
I
we
was brought
definitely not laughing at
No,
that.
we're not laughing.
I was brought up by a single mom. And the way she brought us up is no one owes you a damn thing. And let me tell you something. You want it, you have to get it. You're no better than anybody else, and no one's better than you. Now,
Hear you.
I cannot not say this because Lindsay knows, because I've told her I was brought up racist.
Mm.
Okay.
Who
Because
is racist?
my mom.
Mm.
And now I don't know that was it because she was a single woman raising two daughters. I don't know. But I take pride in knowing that when that woman died, and this is something that I'm very proud of, but when she died, she no longer had that racist feeling in her heart. One of her best friends was black.
Mm-hmm.
And I played a part in that because I made her, she came to visit and I invited our neighbors over. I didn't tell her they were black because it doesn't fucking matter
It
what
really don't.
color they are. Their blood is red. They get up and go to work and they eat the same freaking food we do. So don't tell me they're different or less than.
Period.
Now,
And,
now
okay,
with
go ahead.
me, now with me saying that, my mom was born in 1930.
Mm-hmm.
It's 20 fucking 21.
Mm-hmm.
And if the media is going to show all the issues against Black America, why aren't they showing all the issues against white America?
I'm just saying though, it ain't like they don't exist. And
I
my
mean,
here. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I mean, I, I'm not going to say that there are or are not issues. I mean, in relationship to Meeks, I mean, you know, unfortunately, she said she was pulled over, arrested, and went to jail. I don't know the circumstances. I personally think that's awful, you know, but I do have friends that are cops that are nice, and I have friends that are cops that are just real dicks, and they don't care what color you are. They're dicks.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, you know, is there a white privilege? Well, maybe if you live in 90210, you
Yeah.
know, but I do have to say that I I personally went to Lindsay and said, I want to go see Straight Outta Compton, but you got to take me because I'm afraid to go by myself.
But that's fear. That's not privilege.
I was afraid I'd be the only white person in the theater,
Exactly. Yeah, that's the fear.
you know.
All right.
But when I pull into St. Louis, and I don't know, I'm on the wrong side of St. Louis, and a black man stops me at because I'm stopped at a stoplight and says, "Excuse me, if the light's red, keep going. You are in the wrong side of St. Louis. Just go."
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
Okay.
shouldn't be afraid to be anywhere.
Exactly. Flip that script. Flip that script.
But that
So
And I
Actually,
believe
Floyd.
that happened to me and my
you,
girlfriends
That
that
makes
live
and
in
sense.
that's
St.
the
Louis as
thing.
well.
You
And
shouldn't be afraid to be anywhere.
but I've heard that from black people too. That's just that certain part of St. Louis. So
yeah, that's that
Right.
this,
Yeah.
that, and the
Yeah.
Oh no,
other.
we
We were told the
had
same
Flip
thing.
that
Like, get
script though.
out of here.
we had a damn
So
good time in St.
I think
Louis.
we all know what area of St. Louis we talking about.
right.
I've been told
Yeah,
the same thing. Like, hey, boy, you don't want to be here, my nigga.
Right.
You got
but
the
you know,
wrong shit on.
but
Okay.
like Andre said, flip the script. Okay, I believe that was Andre.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was
The thing of it is to me, I feel the same way. There is not anywhere that you shouldn't be able to go and feel safe.
Mhm.
Because
that's
let
true.
me tell you, in my neighborhood, and Lindsay can attest to this, I in Olathe, when we lived not too long ago, we had black neighbors, we had Muslim neighbors, and I refer to them all as neighbors and my friends. And let me tell you, if somebody's fucking with them, I would have no problem defending them.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right.
So Miss Janie, I'm gonna try to explain to you and Dre what I believe white privilege is. Um,
Oh, goody.
well, white privilege is because you said you had Muslim and you had black neighbors. If you was in a heated conversation with your Muslim and your black neighbors, and the police showed up, they would automatically think they were the perpetrator. And to me, that's what white
How
privilege
can you
is.
prove that?
But I can prove that because I've actually lived that. Because when I lived in Raymore, every time I had a conversation with me and my with my white neighbor, because he was so loud, every time they would hear us, police would show up, and I was the one that got, you know what I'm saying, that would get talked to or get put in handcuffs first. So I have that experience. So
And
that's
that's sad.
But how can you prove
what
that relative to Janie's experience though?
I'm telling her that will be the scenario. That will be the scenario. Also, um,
How do you know?
uh, but no, these are just facts that happen because that's what happened to me. So I know that can't happen. So therefore, that is a fact. Um, Another thing for white privilege for me would be when you put in a scenario of if Dre you went somewhere with the same credentials as a Gregory Winthorpe or what have you, if you had the same credentials, 9 times out of 10, they would probably go for Mr. Winthorpe because it's not only his credentials, but his skin color. Now, if they needed to match a quota, because every company needs a urban quota, then
Correct.
you would get shot in.
It's a
But if they
possibility.
didn't even match that quota, you wouldn't have that job. That is what that's what I'm saying. Where white privilege is. I understand why people live like me. And my girl just had this conversation, and because we always want to let people know that poverty is poverty. Poverty don't have no color.
Correct.
At the same time, that poverty don't have no color. If me and you are piss poor and we're in an argument at the gas station, they're gonna say something to me before they say something to you. And that's, you know what I'm saying, that is what I know to be white privilege. If you guys get what
That's
I'm
a
saying.
hypothetical.
I absolutely agree. I get what
It's
you're
not a
saying,
hypothetical
Troy.
if you've been through it, bro. That's the thing. You keep on saying stuff that you haven't been through. I've been through it, so I'm able to say that's a fact if I've been
But
through it.
but you're saying that Janie is gonna or I'm gonna this and that. That's a hypothetical.
But
You can speak on
Troy,
yourself. You can't speak on nobody else.
just
So,
okay, what about the whole situation of like getting home loans and stuff like that?
mm,
We know that a person of that's white, their credit score could be less than mine, and they might get this house before I do. Why do you think that is? If we're just
Exactly.
going off of a credit score and how much money somebody's making, like how is that working?
Or
How is
even
that
with
not a
a
privilege?
how
home being
can you say
appraised,
that? How
or
can you
even
say
with a
that?
home being
That is
appraised.
a hypothetical.
Oh
Those
no no no
things
no
What
happen.
no!
That's not
situation are you
hypothetical.
talking about?
When
That
you how
those
about
things
if
happen, big
when
bro.
you're selling a home and you get your home appraised and you gotta unethnic the home
Yep, you
for you to
do.
get a higher appraisal. Because if you leave up your black pictures, if you leave up your stuff from Ghana or Zimbabwe or something like that, you'll get like $10,000 to $15,000 less of an appraisal than when you take all that stuff down and make the appraiser believe that the white person lives
And
there.
that's true.
This
My
has
sister and them had to
happened
do that.
recently, and there's case after case after case
So
of
is that white privilege?
happening.
That is white privilege.
That is white
That's
privilege.
white privilege,
That's
bro.
Wait.
that's a prime example
Okay,
of white privilege because you have the
okay,
privilege of having a higher appraisal for the exact same home.
What do you
okay.
think it
So
is?
are all people who
Now,
buy
wait a minute.
houses are all people who buy houses white?
Wait
Only
a minute.
white people buy houses?
Lindsay. Lindsay. Hang on, you guys, just for 1 minute. Now, how in God's name in Johnson? Well, that even sounded bad. Whoa, Janie, back up. Whoa. Okay. How can I have Muslim and black neighbors and there be a problem with them getting appraisals and home loans?
Oh no, they're
Because
home. They can get the home, but they're definitely paying a higher percentage than you are.
Oh,
I mean,
pardon me. I don't mean this badly, Lily, but fuck you. They had
Oh,
a better, they had a better fucking interest
yeah,
rate than
I
me.
love her.
I'm
I
sorry.
I love you.
Sorry. Oops. I just let Lindsay stop that laughing. They had a lower interest rate than I did.
Oh, they had
Not
great.
by
They had good.
only by a quarter percent, but they had a lower interest rate than I did.
But
Brand new, brand new home.
what what we're basing it off of, because we don't know the particulars of their loan or your loan or the credentials or whatnot, but what we're saying is that if you have a loan application that looks identical to another person's loan application, when you are to present them and they see that one is a white person, one is a non-white person, and it's probably going for the same home or a similar home or in the same neighborhood or something like that, you may have an instant where they're going to look at the white person first.
Typically,
Yeah, typically.
On
Not
the,
saying that it always happens, not saying that this is 100% the issue, or not the 100% the issue, but 100% the scenario, but that does occur. That
but we're on the loan
there's been
application.
countless data that proves that.
But we're
And
on the loan
also,
application. Does it say that I'm white or black?
So,
It doesn't.
is there a reason? Is there any black people that live on Ward Parkway? Do you guys know of any black people that live on Ward
I live
Parkway?
on Ward Parkway.
You do? Where?
Yes, 99th
Like
and
right
Ward
on the
Parkway.
strip?
Not War Parkway. Right in that area though, and there's white
No,
people
no, no.
all
I
around
mean
me.
on the strip of
No,
On
I
War
the
don't live
Parkway.
on
street.
War Parkway. No, no,
On
no.
the street.
Yeah. So does anybody know any black
What does
people?
that mean?
I
What
mean,
What
does it
does that
really?
mean?
basically,
What
I'm
does it
saying that
matter?
there are certain areas that black people was not able to move into, like War
How
Parkway.
do
That
you
was
know they wasn't able to live there? They just don't
Because
move out there.
there's
Black people don't move to War Parkway. That's all that is.
data. J.C. Nichols was one of the people that was like he did not want to sell to black people. Period. That's documented.
Yes,
We're
actually,
not
I was
He,
making
about to
this
say,
up.
yeah, this
he's
is
the
That is
only
documented,
person that
documented.
bro.
he's the only person that's a realtor. He's the only
no,
realtor in
but
the
that's
world.
not the only place that's
But
like that. Is not gonna be the only place that's like that.
I mean, in this demographic, we're bringing up that area.
yeah,
All
that
right, so if y'all want to say does racism exist to a certain extent, then yes, it does. All right, but does white privilege exist? No, and I'm gonna tell you why. Two black people right there, Troy and I'm sorry, one more time.
Lindsay.
Let Lindsay. I'm sorry. So Troy and Lindsay. I'm gonna tell you why white privilege don't exist. White privilege don't exist because you are empowered, bro. Like you can do what you want to do. If you keep thinking it's a white boogeyman out here that's gonna stop you from doing what you're trying to do, then no, you're not gonna be able to do nothing. I don't have that belief. I don't care about no white person, no black person, no Mexican person, no his whoever. You're not stopping me. You can't stop me. You can't. So don't try to tell me that there's a system, an invisible system in place that's gonna stop me from doing what I want to do. I don't believe that. I'm not ever gonna believe that, bro. Like I understand history. I know history. There's people who were racist, and racism really come down to survival. They don't just hate black people. They can't exist with black people as far as what they was trying to do. If you want to think about like
Huh?
United States of America, and as far as like how they took over, you know what I'm saying? They couldn't do what they was doing if black people was here because we own stuff. You know what I'm saying? So they had to get us out the way. But like I said, that came down to decision making. We made some bad decisions and signed some bad deals. So period. That's how
Hold
slavery
on.
started.
Well, but you got to remember, there's also white slaves. There was white slaves, not just black slaves.
Say that again.
I'm sorry. What'd you say, Miss Janie?
That there's also, there wasn't just black slaves. There
Period. It
were
was what
slaves
it
that
was
were white.
white slaves too.
Glad
You
you
know what I'm
said
saying?
that.
Period. Whites was the first slave.
But the whites weren't the first slaves, bro. But what I'm saying,
Yes, they were.
the difference between white slaves and black slaves is they had a time to work themselves out of slavery. Black people did not.
Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
Whose fault is that?
Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that when we have made decisions over time that had kept us enslaved? Whose fault is that we slaves?
What decision could we make? Because this ain't got nothing to do with white privilege right here. This is right here. This
Yes,
is
it do. Yes, it
So
do.
Trump
You
supporter
gotta
when the
approach
black
it. You
people
gotta
built
approach
their
it from
own
a
stuff,
holistic
like in
standpoint.
Oklahoma and all that stuff, and the white and whoever joined
exactly
it. Why?
exactly
Why did
holistic
that happen?
standpoint.
Who could have stopped that? That was black. Who could have stopped that?
Check this.
Since
Even
black people don't do
Hey,
for themselves and we don't try to do nothing for ourselves, because that's
I didn't
basically
say
what
that.
you are
I
saying.
didn't say that.
You
hold
No,
on,
are
I
saying
didn't.
that. You
How
saying
can you put that sentence in my
hold on,
mouth? I
time
didn't say
out,
that.
time
I
out,
don't fear
Hold
nobody
on,
in
hold
the
on.
hold
Stop.
on, time
room.
Stop.
out.
What do
Stop.
you mean?
Because I didn't say that.
Okay,
Don't
so
put that sentence in my
when they
mouth.
bombed the
I ain't never
Oklahoma
said a black person can't do
Hold
City
on,
something.
time
bombing,
out, y'all.
Hold
when
on.
black people was doing for themselves and they were doing well, they came and bombed them. Why?
I
Like
don't
is
know.
that not white privilege? Like, how is that
That's a
possible?
white person.
When
That's
we
a
try
group
to
of
get
white
our
people
own, they
doing a
don't want us
bad
to have
thing.
our own.
Okay, but the privilege is that nobody got charged with anything for
Exactly.
doing that.
That's still privilege, bro.
I already said that the system there is a system in place where certain people benefit. Hold on.
Then that's the
Those certain
privilege.
people are
You're
white
saying
people,
My
it.
bro.
bad.
Hey, exclude Miss
My
Janie
bad.
because Miss Janie the shit. Like,
Uh, I was saying there is a group of okay. If you want to take the court system, if you want to take, I mean, I can bring out history and go back, but I don't really want to do that right now. But there's a system of of people, and they're white, and they came together and they control things. They control the media, education, healthcare, big pharma, food. They took phonics out the school system in the 80s or the 70s. One of them. They control all these things. So, and they're a group of white people, yes. But who's to say that a group of black people couldn't come together and fight against that or do the same thing or whatever?
Because
It's
we don't
like,
have
oh,
the
I
same
think we
over.
can. But guess
exactly.
what?
I
When we do,
believe we
but when
can
we do
too.
that, you know what happens? They send in the
Oh
black
no,
president
don't
that
say
don't
that.
care
Don't say
about
that.
no.
The
They be like,
boogeyman
yeah, I
come,
give you
right?
this money,
The
and they come and
boogeyman
tearing
come.
it down.
Listen, listen,
One
listen.
nigga said,
Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example, right? So like rappers, right? You see these rappers getting pimped, right, on all these stupid ass deals. They sign them deals because they don't know nothing about business, right? And they sign these dumbass 360 deals. They sign these deals where they get fronted a couple million, but they end up owing all their masters to the record company. Okay, so whose fault is that? That's nobody's fault, and that's
That's
what it
their
comes.
fault for signing whatever it was
Exactly,
they signed. We didn't sign
exactly.
nothing. We didn't sign nothing saying take us to America and then treat us like this. So that you can't use that.
So
That's
how did
a
we
that's
come
a
over here?
decision that they made. We didn't
How,
decide, oh, I want to
so
be
they
black,
just
which I
come
love
over in
being
here
black.
Now
and
So
wait a
don't
minute.
kidnapped
take
us?
that in don't
They
take
just
that in
came and kidnapped
context.
us.
But what?
They
What
just
did you
came
say?
and kidnapped a whole bunch of strong
yes,
ass black
There was
dudes.
no, there were Africans that helped them do that, but
it was
although
Africans,
they
but
helped them
the
do that,
Africans said
now that
everybody,
we're
That's
yes.
the
here,
same shit that
we have
goes
to
on
deal with
today.
this stuff.
So I
That's
should
That's
I
the
be
same.
considered European American instead of white? None of us are from
No,
here,
that none
really.
of that shit.
Janie, I
None of
think
that
so.
shit
I don't
mean
think we should be
anything.
considered black Americans.
Listen,
We
listen.
should
You
be
don't even,
people of African descent.
Janie. I don't
And
even.
you should be
I
a person
mean,
of European descent or wherever
mate.
Irish or wherever your people
Is
came
that
from.
okay? Is that she could be Italian? She could be Irish. She could be a bunch of
But
things.
I'm still
But
considered white.
In America, she white, and then she got white privilege all of a sudden. No, she probably don't. To
All
be
of a
honest with you,
sudden. Oh, so this
Yeah,
is
all
so
of
all
a
of
that's
a
what
sudden.
we
This
say.
hasn't been going on for years
I
and
mean, I
years and
didn't
years.
ask to be born white. Why should I
okay,
have to apologize for my skin color?
she don't. You don't have to
You don't have
We
to
apologize.
ain't never told
apologize
You
you
for
to.
don't.
it.
Hold on,
Nobody's
You
y'all.
asking
don't.
for an apology from you.
And I think
No,
Hold
more
on.
Nobody's
thank
white people
you.
asking
should
Right
be
for
now,
it. Everything
Arian,
that
just
should
sitting
be
unapologetically
here.
white
done when
and
somebody
Hold
stop
black comes to
apologizing.
on.
America,
Time out.
time is
Time
somebody
out.
black.
Time
But
This
I
is
out.
a
ain't
Hold
gonna
good
on.
one.
apologize for being black.
Hold
Lindsay,
on.
I like this. This is
Hold
fun.
I like this too, Miss Janie, but I have to tell y'all, we all can't talk at the same time because we're not gonna get our no one saying our opinions out.
Well, okay, so just real quick. None of us, oh gosh, here's a history lesson. None of us are from here, okay?
That's a fact.
We're all immigrants,
True.
okay? Now, I'm not going to say that I have it easier than black people or Hispanics or Mexicans or whatever because I've only been white. I am labeled white. In all in I'm half indigenous. I'm a Cherokee Indian. So, the thing of it but I'm still labeled as white,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um,
That,
so I mean, to me, it's sad that, up until a few months ago, I didn't even know about white privilege.
exactly.
Janie, I absolutely agree with you. And guess what? There's a lot of black people that we have European blood in us. We have Native American blood in us. We probably mix with everybody here is probably mixed with everything. But it's
Exactly.
like when you have that one drop of black blood, you're going to be labeled black because that's how America. That's how they labeled us. Even if they was the
Well,
slave owners'
okay,
kids,
but
they were
that.
black. Get them out of here. They got to go do whatever it is that they got to do. And go a
But not
step
all
further
white
with the
people.
white privilege in
But
the
me,
healthcare system. There's white privilege and there's black privilege, or not
but
black
not all
privilege,
white
but white
people feel
privilege.
that
And
way.
the black people are treated. They feel like black people can take more pain than white people, so they look at us as if, oh, you can handle it, like, oh, that's not a problem, and they won't really look into your issue like they need to until you're there on your deathbed, or just, you know what I mean. There's a lot of
Right.
stuff that goes
I
on
mean,
like
I
that
get
in the
it.
health.
I
What?
totally get it. But I don't think that you can say that about all white people.
No, no, no. I'm not
No,
saying that about all
we're
white
never
people.
saying that
There are
about
some
all
great
white people.
white people, Janie.
Right.
I'm not saying that about all white people. But there are a lot of white people that might look away and then might say, like, let's take the Trayvon Martin situation. I had some ladies at my job, they were like, well, I don't and this is George Zimmerman, a regular, ordinary citizen. He ain't no cop, nothing. He pretty much this was stranger danger to this little boy.
Right.
And he had to fight for his life and he ended up losing it. And this man did not go to jail. If that is not white privilege, I don't know
He
what
wasn't
is.
even white.
And he
George
ain't he's
Zimmerman
but
wasn't even white. So that's
he's
not white
a
privilege.
Hispanic or whatever. He's not
That's
black.
not white
If
privilege.
he had been a
George
black
Zimmerman
man, he would
wasn't
have
even
been
white.
what?
George Zimmerman was not white. So
I
how is that white
understand,
privilege?
but he's still not black. And in that area, he had his little, oh well, I'm the neighborhood watch. Doesn't matter. You should not have gotten off for that.
I mean,
Period.
I'm not talking about that because I
Well, I'm
agree with
talking
you,
about
but
that.
I'm talking about the
That's the
fact that
thing.
that
Let's talk
wasn't
about
white privilege.
everything, not just certain
That
situations.
wasn't white privilege, is what I'm saying. How can that be white privilege when George Zimmerman was a Hispanic?
It's still
Is that
because they
Hispanic
still.
privilege?
You said what?
Is that Hispanic privilege?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Nah,
They
well,
colored
you know
Now,
people
what,
just
but
like
but
us.
seriously, he should
Dre?
he
Yeah,
should
Dre,
have went to
I
jail
totally
for that.
agree with you on that one, Dre. Yeah, I always say that about that. I do agree that that was a person that slipped in and had a prejudice against whatever was going on with Trayvon,
He
regardless of
was
him
just a
being
bad
either
person.
young or black or
Period.
whatever. But that didn't
At
have
the
nothing
end
to
of the
do with like,
day, at the end of the day, he was a bad human being.
yeah,
Okay,
Okay,
so
yeah, I
why
agree with
would
that.
he not go to jail?
No,
I don't
what
know.
it
Because
Like
they
I
assumed, oh, Trayvon Martin was this bad kid. He smoked weed. He did this. He did. Like, come on. Why is he not in
which
jail?
I
wasn't
don't
said
know.
until after he was dead. The whole
Right.
thing is that it was a black kid. That's the thing. And it's
Okay,
somebody that's not black. So yes, that is a privilege when you're going up against a black kid. No, it's not white privilege because technically he's not white. But if you were to look at him, we all know that cops don't sit up there and be like, "Hey, what nationality are you?" No, they look at you and be like, "Okay, that's a white person, that's a black person, that's whatever." He don't look like he's Hispanic or whatever he is. He looked like a white man. And then his last name is Zimmerman. That's not a Hispanic sounding name. So yes, that could have been white privilege playing into somebody that technically wasn't white.
it could have been, but still, that's another hypothetical because it could have been, but who
No, that's
knows?
what it
Who
was. That's
knows?
what it was. We're talking about somebody that don't look black or don't look Hispanic, don't have a
Yeah.
Hispanic sounding name, going
How
up
Nah,
do
that's
against
we
a
not
black
know
hypothetical.
person.
that that was white
Going
privilege?
up against a black person. Anybody you can be a Mexican full blood, look like a Mexican, last name is Savalas or whatever. You can be all that going up against a black person. Guess who they gonna pick? They gonna pick that other person up against a black person because the number
Who
one
is
hate
gonna pick
is
that
a
black
black
person?
person in America. At the end of the day,
These are hypotheticals still.
no, that's real.
Hypothetical
Hey, bro,
situations.
That's real.
I really want to know who told you certain things was hypothetical because you use that a lot. Like that is your go.
Listen. Let me say something. If you talking about something that you didn't see for your eyes, I didn't see for my eyes, Janie didn't see for her eyes, Meeks didn't see for her eyes, that is a hypothetical. I can
But
tell a
I've
story
told you
like,
things that I've seen with my eyes and I've been through, and you told me it was still
okay, that's
hypothetical.
your experience. We're
So it
talking. If
is. So
you
ain't
try to
that a fact?
So
Ain't that still a fact? That's not
It's a
hypothetical.
listen. It's a fact that it happened to you, but that's not a. You can't say that that's a fact that it's gonna happen to me because it happened to you.
so the
Because you
fact that
can't.
there's more black people in jail than white people, but there's more white people in this nation.
Yeah, and
How
it's a
that's
fact
not
that black people.
hypothetical. Those are mathematical facts. How is that possible? Because you can't make me believe that more black people is committing crime than white people. That's not true, and I don't care what you're talking about. So go ahead
Uh,
and answer that.
yeah. Okay. So I mean, where are those numbers that say it's more blacks than whites in jail? Because I've been locked up. It was always more white people than black people, always, and the white boys ran the jail because it was more of them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where that number came from. I mean, that's another hypothetical. Like, if you gonna look, come with numbers, come with some facts. You can't just come with what you feel based off your situation. That's not a fact.
So when I
That's
went to court
hypothetical.
and there was more black people in that courtroom for traffic issues than white people, what is that?
What
Like,
is
what
that
are we
supposed
doing
to
here?
mean?
You said
What
what
is
is it
that
supposed
supposed
to
to mean?
mean?
So more black people. So
Oh,
what?
so even if we're in the situation when we see it
So
with
that's
our own
white
eyes, it
privilege.
doesn't mean anything.
Is that white privilege? Because we're talking about white privilege. So it
Yeah,
was more black
because
people.
that means more black people get pulled over than white folks. If it's
Well,
more
no.
white people,
Oh,
how is that not
that's
what's
not
going on?
objective. That's not objective fact. Maybe look, there's a possibility that more black people just did something to get pulled over. Maybe I don't know, but you can't use that and say that that's white privilege because it's not. That's just
So,
more black people in the courtroom. It could be more black people in Walmart today. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean
so,
nothing. That's not white privilege.
so I have a quick question. I mean, I don't know what courtroom, you're in or whatever, nor is it relevant. But any courtroom I've been in regarding traffic or accidents, thank God Lindsay wasn't in the truck when that happened. Um, there was significantly more white people in that courtroom than there were black. Now, is it based on where the police station is located?
It could be.
And
I
yeah,
mean,
that could be because if you're in an area where there's way more white people than black people,
sure.
like
Is it
Overland
predominantly
Park or
white
somewhere like
area,
that, then
predominantly
yeah,
black
you're gonna
area?
need more
What I like
white
about
people in the
Joplin, they
courtroom.
have one jail, they have one police station. You know what I mean? So,
Mm.
that's where you get to see, okay, which way are we leaning here? And the nice thing about
Yeah.
that I also like is I can walk into any courtroom here as long as I can make it through that metal thing, and sit in traffic court. I can sit in a criminal court as long as I get pre-approval. And I mean, you can pretty much see, okay, if it's predominantly black, I'm going to be the first one that's going to go to the city council and go, what's going on here? If it's predominantly white, I'm going to be going, okay, and forgive me because I'm white. I'm going to be going, okay, are we not doing the right thing with the youths on in the predominantly white neighborhoods, the predominantly black neighborhoods? What do we need to do to make this better and get united and stop this you know crap of just randomly pulling people over due to the color or where they're driving through town or what time it is.
A lot of times, especially for a young black male, he's going to prison for a crime that a white male could have did and get probation for. So that's one thing that I know is a fact, and you can look those stats up. But I want to point out the stats that 34% of the U.S. prisons are black, and 29% is white. So Meek's for Meek saying that, Meek was totally correct on that. Black people are going to jail more.
And we're only 12%
When
of the
I
nation's population.
when I get the opportunity, I want to say something when I can.
No, you
When the
got the
floor is free.
opportunity, bro. Say what you
Okay.
say.
All right. Okay. So okay. So most people know about Joe Biden's like crime bill and everything like that. And like okay, basically at the end of the day, what the bill was, it was just a deal. It was a deal with like the prison industrial complex. So that means everything from prison transportation to like security when you get on the phone and call them, the JPay, like anything that got to do with prison. Like it was a whole deal with the whole entire prison industrial complex to where those companies would give kickbacks based on how many people get locked up. So for whatever reason, they they saw it easier to concentrate on the African American community to lock them up easier. Now, I want to ask, why is that? Like, why is it that can you call that white privilege because they feel like it's easier to lock up a black man than it is to lock up a white
Yeah,
man?
Absolutely.
How?
absolutely.
Why? Why is that privilege?
The fact that they have
Why is
that
that white privilege?
But just
Why
the
is that
fact
white
that they
privilege?
have that in their mind is white privilege.
What's that?
Just the fact that they can
No,
fix
no,
their
no, 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 no,
say that.
no,
Just
no,
that fact alone.
no, 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 no. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
Because if you go to if you go down north to the projects, it ain't really the same like it used to be. But you go to the projects, it's all black people living there. So it's like, why is it all black people living in the projects? Is that white supremacy? And if it is, how so? And what where I'm getting at with this is that uh they brought drugs to the black community. They brought drugs to the black community. They came to the black community, just dropped the drugs off, and they dropped the guns off, and they said, sell each other crack, kill each other. Now, like
So
I said,
you don't think that right there in itself is a form of privilege?
Privilege.
They wouldn't have did that. They wouldn't have did that where they reside. They had the privilege to know that they can do it over here and not do it over there. Like like yeah, you don't think anything was like a privilege on that issue?
okay, my bad.
You
So
good?
yeah, so I think that my hold on. So my thing is this: it comes down to decision making. Just because they spring the trap, don't mean you gotta walk into it, bro. It comes down to community, unity, decision making, togetherness, all these type of things, and like fathers in the household. It comes down to all because oh, hold on.
I'm about to say, yeah, you breaking up, man.
Hold on.
That's that white privilege internet you got. No, I'm just playing. I'm playing. I'm joking.
I love you.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? Miss Janie, I love you too. Like even this conversation, man, I really, really love all of your input. Like I really want you to comment more for real.
Hey, my
Oh,
bad,
this.
my bad, my bad. Okay, so it's a lot of things that go down in the black community. Okay, we have been attacked. I will wholeheartedly admit that we have been attacked. But just because you've been attacked, mean that you gotta just fold under the pressure, or do you need to come together and that's why I preach my message, bro. That's why I always talk about the media, because the media been deceiving the shit out of us for the longest, bro. And
But
that's
you
why
have to
we think the way
acknowledge,
we think. That's why
but
we
you
think the way
have to
we think.
acknowledge the fact
Wait a
that
minute.
you have been
Wait.
attacked for certain reasons.
Say that again.
I said you have to acknowledge the fact that we are being attacked for certain reasons.
We're being
And
attacked because we're a threat to the establishment.
others are not being attacked for certain reasons.
But
Listen,
why are
listen,
we a threat
listen.
to the establishment, Trump supporter? I don't
We're a tech.
understand
We're
why we're a
listen,
threat to the establishment.
listen, and I'll tell you.
Well,
We're a
I'm
threat
gonna
to the
listen. Can
establishment.
I ask?
We're a threat to the establishment because we are the originators of everything. Everything starts with black, and mostly everybody know that. We are the original human being, and most people know that. Now, I don't want to get into all of the science behind that. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause we got Janie on the call and everything, and like a lot of black people start talking black supremacy, and I'm not about to get into all that because we all humans at the end of the day. And I don't want to get into the other planets and what's really going on, and I don't want to get into all that. The point is this: the black people are the originators of everything, okay, on this planet Earth.
That's
Human,
I know.
Hue, man, human is colored man. Okay, so that's the originator of everything. So we are a threat to the establishment when the establishment want to come and take over this planet. Okay, and a lot of people don't understand that. If you want to take over the planet, you're gonna take over the people on the planet, the original people. So that's the reason why. Not like I said, I don't want to get into all of the shit about other planets because most people don't even believe that there's life on other planets. So I can't get into all that right now. But the point is, that's we're a threat to the establishment. The establishment really is not even from this planet. Okay, and I'm gonna leave it at that. And they're taking over this planet. Okay, so that's why they have a system, and they have a system in place that's targeted at us because we are the enemy. We are public enemy number one because
You
we
mean to
are the
tell me my
ignorant people
motherfucking
from this planet.
homegirl Miss Jamie a motherfucking alien?
What you say?
You mean to tell me my motherfucking homegirl Miss Jamie a goddamn alien out here? You said I'm
No,
to me
no,
this
no,
whole
she's not.
time?
No, 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 no. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm
That's
Okay.
not
just
what
saying
I'm
that
saying.
the establishment, and you can look.
Is that
Have you
hypothetical,
noticed?
or do you know that because you've seen this
That's
with your
facts.
own
That's
eyes?
facts. That's
Have you
facts. Let me
seen it with your own eyes? Because
wait a
that's what
minute.
you've
Look,
been saying to us this whole show. Have you
exactly. That's
seen
what.
another person or being on another planet with your own eyes, not on TV? I mean, outside. Like you outside and they come down, or however it happened. I don't know.
I've gathered that information. I haven't seen it for myself. But what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this. No, I have not seen it for myself. If you want to say no, no, I have not seen it for myself. I've
So this
gathered
is
that information.
hypothetically.
No, absolutely not. That's
Okay.
research. That's research. But like I said, I'm not gonna get all into that because that's distracting from the point.
Yeah,
If
and
you
I'm not saying
if
there's
you
not other beings on other planets. I have no idea. So you go ahead.
well, I got the idea, but listen, okay, so if you take a look at the media, right?
He crazy.
Look how the media done demonized the American flag, bro. The American flag has been associated with a Trump supporter. Like, think about this: a pickup truck with an American flag on it, and Trump 2020. What is he automatically based off what the media has trained us to believe? He a Trump. He got Trump 2020
He's a
and an
Trump
American
supporter.
flag.
He's a Trump
No, they
supporter.
demonized him. They demonized him. They made him racist. They made the American flag racist. They made everything that's American. Every American value is somehow racist or somehow a problem. First Amendment, Second Amendment, all of that. That's demonized, bro. Freedom of speech. We being censored. Second Amendment. They taking our guns. Like everything that's American is being attacked. And my point of saying that is
I
that
don't think they shut down the American flag though. It was the Confederate flag with the Trump flag, yes, but the American flag, I don't think. Everybody's been getting a pass with that. With what I've seen, that's not hypothetical. It's what I've seen. I've seen everybody with the American flag and the Trump flag at the same time, and
mhm,
they don't get no push.
right.
But the Confederate with the Trump flag, they get pushback.
And
Okay,
just so
but
we're clear, nobody's taking this white girl's guns.
And
exactly. That's what I'm
I agree
saying.
with you, Johnny. You shouldn't get your guns taken because ain't nobody taking
And,
mine.
and
Uh-uh.
nobody should. And what I'm trying to say is that there is an attack on human livelihood. That's what I'm trying to say. If you can't see that, then you got your eyes closed. If
I
you
agree
can't
with you
see
on that, Trump
I
supporter. I
totally
do.
exactly.
agree with you
So
on that.
so what I'm saying is that we're all humans, bro. Who is really just attacking human livelihood like that? Who that's what I'm trying to get y'all to ask yourself. I'm not even trying to tell y'all and push that down your head. I'm just trying to get y'all to ask that to yourself. Like who
Right.
is really just attacking human having the right to say what the fuck? I don't give a fuck if I said 2 plus 2 is 90, bro. I can say that. You can't shut me up for saying what I want to say. You can disagree with it all you want, but I can say it, and you can say it too. And
That's
I can disagree with you all day long, but I fight for your right to be able to say that shit. That's what I'm saying. So we got a situation where all that's being attacked, and that's my main point that there is an establishment that is against black people are the center of that attack, but we're not alone because like I said, Janie is a human too. Janie's a human too, but like we just the original human. But that don't mean she's any less of a human. She
Nope,
got
we're all
all
equal.
Nobody said that.
human
We're
exactly.
equal.
So
I want to
that's
know
what
who this
that
Bengals fan is, though. Who keeps popping up? That's kind of he's cracking me up.
yeah. That
Yeah,
hard Bengals fan has me fucking rolling.
yeah.
I know. I'm just like, where the hell are you from? You know.
I ain't worried about that. The Bengals trash. So anyway, uh So
My nigga,
so
that
so
was
like
the
I'm
dumbest
saying,
shit you could say.
so like I'm saying, my main point is that there is not really any quantifiable white supremacy today in 2021. There is a bias, but that bias comes from history. Yeah, it do. Yeah, like there is a bias,
So
but
what
there
about
is
the
not.
attack on the Capitol? Was that white
Oh my
privilege or
God!
no? Because
Don't
if
get
it
me
was a bunch
started
of
because I'm
us,
gonna
we
go in
definitely
on
would have
that.
been shot. But go
I'm
ahead.
gonna
Go
go
in
in
on
on
that.
that. I'm gonna
Go
Was
go
in
that
in
on
on
even
that.
that.
real? Because
Go
half the
in.
time I don't
I
believe
got
it's either.
videos
But
on
go
my
ahead.
channel where the officers was just letting them in. Like, come on in.
Okay,
They
my
was
aunt
letting
was
them boys
there.
in.
Okay, whoa. Hey, back up. My aunt was there.
Uh,
Lindsay, you know Marion.
Oh,
You
she
know my aunt. She was there. I seen the letter that they were invited into, seen it with my own fucking eyes. They were invited into the Capitol.
who?
Okay.
wow.
Yeah, don't know me.
Who you talking about?
When
Was
people
invited?
stormed in, you know,
Yeah,
I
the,
believe you,
the
Janie.
cops,
I
that shit
absolutely believe that.
that shit
the
was all planned. I got videos on my channel. They was saying, "Come on in, please come in and
you
attack
know,
the
they
Capitol so we
because
can blame it on Trump." Get the fuck
well,
out of here, man.
well, yeah, exactly. But the thing of it is, I also have a cousin who is a Capitol police officer. He feared for his life because of some yahoos. That's the way I'm just going to leave that. Yahoos. Um, that thought they were going to go in there and disrupt everything. Okay. They weren't a part of the deal. Okay.
Hmm.
What was the deal, man?
It's kind of like okay, this is where I'm going to turn you guys against me quicker than snot.
Not me. Go ahead.
Okay. It's kind of like
Oh, you did bullet. What?
Black Lives Matter. Here we
Uh
go.
huh. Now talk your shit because I don't like Black Lives Matter. My damn self.
So here's the thing of it is okay. I get it. I understand it. All lives matter. Black lives matter. I understand some of the hostility,
Hmm.
but you can't tell me that the looters and the people that were burning shit up and running in there, I don't care if they're black, white, Mexican, I don't care, and
Yes.
stealing shit and jumping out of the windows weren't
Yeah.
bust in there. They were bust
Yeah.
in there. They
Listen.
weren't
Let
part.
uh,
They weren't part of a peaceful protest.
let me say one thing real quick to piggyback on that. Like I said earlier, every group that unifies was eventually infiltrated from Crips, Bloods, Black Panthers, Antifa, Black Lives Matter, even the Ku Klux Klan.
I'm sorry to say, you can't forget the KKK.
Anytime a group of people unify, they get infiltrated by the Fed. Anytime. So that's exactly what happened with BLM. Now their movement is tainted. All they do is destroy shit. That ain't real black people that feel emotional in their heart over what happened,
Right.
destroying shit. They don't. What the fuck they destroying shit for? That ain't nothing but George Soros and that open society money, that long ass open society money that he got, he pouring it into these Democrat controlled cities and these Democrat spineless ass mayors and governors just letting this shit happen because they're sellouts and they're letting their city be destroyed because then they can use COVID as an excuse to get a fucking bailout because it's all about money at the end of the day. Where who okay, where did they spend all that fucking money that they raised? I'm talking about Black Lives Matter. They raised so much fucking money. I ain't seen a donation to an inner city. I ain't seen nothing. I seen the founder buy a house though. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't seen them put that money in the community whatsoever. And and that's one of my main points is why I don't fuck with Black Lives Matter. For
Okay,
one,
so to be clear, like um, we all understand that Black Lives Matter. What we
every
don't,
life matters.
but okay, but to be clear, we all have an understanding that Black Lives Matter. What it is the conglomerate behind it is false, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I have the
And
same. I do believe the same way. I believe in the cause and the meaning behind it, but I do believe that the conglomerate behind it is false. It's a false narrative. I do
and
believe.
then and then
Correct.
one th- then listen to this. Okay, I don't even agree with you saying Black Lives Matter because who really ever said that they didn't matter? Talk to Janie. Janie, does my life matter?
The court
I
systems
think
when they
everybody's
let
life
people
matters.
out for killing black people.
Okay, nobody ever said here in 2021. Nobody ever said that my life didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So that we don't need Black Lives Matter because that's divisive. That divides people. As soon as you say Black Lives Matter, here come a
That's
white person saying no, all lives matter.
Yeah, I was about to
And
say
now
that's a
that's
hypothetical.
hypothetical.
That's a hypothetical, bro.
Because nobody ever said saying Black Lives Matter means that nobody else lives matter.
okay, I'm gonna give you an example. Hey Janie,
Yep.
Black Lives Matter.
All lives matter.
Exactly. It's divisive. So now if she says all lives matter, then now I'm gonna get upset. No, you're supposed to say Black Lives Matter. Janie, say Black Lives Matter. No, all lives
She
matter.
doesn't have to say
Well,
that.
but okay,
Hold
I
on,
will say Black Lives
What the
hold
Matter.
fuck? It's divisive. It's
I will,
on,
but
divisive. It divides
hold on,
people.
Dre.
the
Dre,
thing of it is Black lives do matter,
exactly. I was
but
about to say
they
the
Uh,
don't matter any more than anybody else's life.
but
And
Miss J at
nobody ever said
the same
that.
so
time.
why are
No,
we even
exactly.
saying it then? Who
Because
gives a
they
fuck?
just
Every life
now,
matters.
as far as the
Media.
whole little Black Lives movement, I don't know about all that, but when you say that, we're not saying that like Black Lives Matter and they matter more than anybody else's lives. That's not what that's saying. What
No,
it's saying is Black Lives Matter. So who, if these cops are out here killing black people for absolutely no reason, they need to be charged just like anybody else would be charged for killing somebody
Give me
black.
an example.
George, we
We
already
already
talked
talked
about it.
about George
George Floyd,
Floyd.
the little
We talked about
12-year-old boy
Philando
was,
Castile.
yeah.
Give me another
The girl,
example.
what's the
A
girl's
more
name that was in our
touchy,
house
a
and the
more
police
touchy,
came in and
a
shot her
more
up?
touchy
You,
example.
you say what?
Breonna Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Don't get me started. Okay,
no, yeah. Hold
Hold
on, we
on,
got a
Now,
special
hold
guest.
on, hold on.
okay.
My mom has entered the room now.
Hi, mom.
hey mama.
Hello. Hi, Mom.
I want to just say this. When we say Black Lives Matter, it's meaning that it's been understood by the other race that we didn't matter. And that's the reason for the Black Lives Matter, because we need everybody to know that we just as good as anybody else. Anybody else. And other people were not understanding that. And that is why someone came up with, and thank the Lord she did, Black Lives Matter. Anybody else want to say all lives matter? It was already understood y'all matter. But now I want to tell you, and anybody else that want to listen, Black lives do matter just as much as anybody else's life.
Amen.
That's fact. That's fact. But I
Well
don't think
said.
anybody ever disagree with that.
Yeah,
We
Sounded
talking
like
about the average, ordinary, everyday person did not disagree with that.
But
Now,
that's
if
the
it's,
because everybody wants to assume that when we say Black Lives Matter, that we're saying that nobody else's life matters. That's not what we're
no,
saying. We're saying
everybody understands the point.
nobody
Every
is paying attention to us. Everybody's doing something to us, and we want to get that point across that we matter as well, not
uh,
matter only, matter
And,
as
I get
and
that.
Trump
Listen,
supporter.
not
yeah,
Well,
less
right.
how
Sorry,
about
mom.
as well.
go ahead, go ahead.
how about matters equally?
how about
Matters
what?
equally.
Matters equally.
No,
Black lives matters equally.
I
Black
have a
lives
Yeah.
matter. That's
You
the
black
point.
lives should be just as equal as white lives, Mexican lives. I don't
that's
care
what we're
what.
saying though. That's all
Exactly.
we're saying.
But we
Yeah.
having an issue here, and we've been having the issue, and it keeps happening. This issue keeps happening. We've been treated like second class citizens ever since we got kidnapped to this country. And by
All
the
right.
way, what is this white privilege when y'all white people were not? born here in the first place. Y'all
Who
came
was
over
born
here
here?
and were immigrants as well. So
That's
don't
what
be
I said. That's what I
don't
said.
it's what?
Yeah, they said
That,
that.
Yeah,
that's
she
what
did.
I said.
Okay, okay. Well, I wasn't here. Sorry.
Yeah. No, no, you're fine. You're fine.
You know,
Uh,
Trump, Mr. Trump supporter, he came from where, Germany or somewhere? His
what's
family,
that?
Yeah, his family is
Yeah,
Yeah,
from.
he's
yeah,
fully
just
immigrant.
like
His
the
wife an
oil
immigrant, all
industry.
that.
This girl took it from the Indians. Took it from the Indians. You stole this country. Stole it.
Yeah, yeah. This country was a cutthroat business deal. That's what it was, and that's what goes down in business.
There
In
And
was
I
business,
no
ain't
everybody's
getting
business.
It
stealing.
was,
there.
Everybody's
it,
stealing.
there
it,
was no business,
it,
big
There
brother.
was
was,
no business. That was
it was
stolen.
stolen from the
This
Indians.
business.
No
That
business.
was business. This country is a business, and that's what it was when it got took.
No,
Just like
no,
everything else in business,
no.
you got to, you got to
All the thieves is
look. It's
Is
a
business.
that
Shark
business
Tank.
or they was
It's
being
business.
thieves?
That's
Because
what you're
that's
talking
not
about.
business. If I come and take something from you, I'm stealing from
You
you. I'm
stealing.
not. I'm not doing a business deal. I'm stealing. I'm a thief.
Listen.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah. But the way this country works with this capitalism that we got, that everybody in this country enjoy. If I write down a mother agreement, a contract that means that I get the rights to your house and whoopty whoop, and that's a legally binding document, and I own your house now.
Okay,
So
They never had that when they took America, though.
that's just how business works.
Is
That's
that
just
what
how
they did with
business
the
works.
Native
But they never
Americans?
had that when they took America, big
we
bro.
ain't talking
They didn't
about
have
They
no
that.
contract.
That ain't happening.
They
That did not
they
happen.
had blankets
Mani-
with smallpox.
Yeah.
manifest destiny, bro. Manifest destiny.
What?
Manifest destiny.
What the heck
So
is
they
that mean?
manifested that they were going to get took over, killed, and stolen from.
All right, look. The point is, all I'm saying is that it's business. So it comes down to business deals. That's what this world is all about. So, uh, going back on the previous point, the media is the culprit in this situation. We was talking about Black Lives Matter.
Right.
I should have never
That
brought
is
that up.
no, you should have brought it up, and you ain't gotta apologize for bringing shit up. The, it's divisive, all right. It divides people. That's my issue with it. Like it don't matter what it means. We all kind of get what it means and what's the intention behind it. But just saying the sentence divides people because guess what? Any white person, not just Jamie, they can say all lives matter. That's not wrong.
I have
If
a question.
am I included? If they say all lives matter, am I included in that?
But they're
Yes.
included in everything. We not included in everything. So all we're saying is Black Lives Matter. We're not saying they matter more or they matter the most. Our lives matter just like y'all's. That's all we saying. I don't see how this could be. I mean, I see how it's divisive or whatever you're saying divides people, but
It
that's
does.
like with the Asians. If an Asian person come up to me and be like, "Asian lives matter," I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, all lives matter." What? Like what? That's
Exactly.
crazy.
Okay, so
Exactly.
if
That's the
if
If
thing.
if
an
you
Asian
are an
person,
oppressed person and I know that your whole race is being oppressed
uh huh,
Right.
and you come to me and be like, "Oh, Italian lives matter," or whoever it is, I'm not gonna be like, "All lives matter." I'm not gonna say that's
Yeah.
insensitive. I'm not gonna say that
Because
because
exactly.
that's not what's
means
That
there's a
brings.
happening.
conflict.
Sorry, go
That's my
ahead,
point right there.
Keely.
No,
That's
I
my
was
point.
saying a protest to my protest means that you want the conflict. Because if
Yeah,
you agree with me, if I say all lives matter and you agree with me, then it know what I'm saying, then that know what I'm saying, there's no problem. If I say black lives matter and you say all lives matter, that means that you have a conflict with what I say.
No, 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 no.
no,
I
Yeah,
believe
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
means.
Because you're
I
being
believe that means that you're trying to push that belief down a person's throat. What I'm saying is
no.
they don't have to say Black Lives Matter. They don't have to give a damn about Black Lives Matter. That
But
doesn't mean
if
they're a bad
black
person.
people are
That
included
doesn't
in
mean they're a
all
black
lives,
person.
why is it a conflict? If black people
That
are included in all lives, why is that a conflict when I say Black Lives Matter?
Right.
because the phrase is divisive. That's what I just said.
How?
It's gonna divide
How
people.
is
If
it
you say
So
that,
but
so
how
if
is
I
it
just tell
when you
somebody
have
my life matters, is that gonna offend you and be like, my life matters too? Is that I
yeah,
mean, is
they're
that gonna
probably
like
gonna say that.
if you
They're
see
probably
me
gonna say that.
Huh?
They're probably gonna say that. They're gonna say my life matters too. What you mean? Like, what are you talking about? More than likely, but I should. But more than likely, that's what they're gonna say. Okay, my life matters too. What's your point?
If
You know what I'm
if
saying?
they see, okay, like if you see me going through something, and I'm like,
Hmm.
like I'm like my life matters.
Hmm.
You're gonna be like, my life matters too. You is that what you
Well,
gonna say?
I would
No, if
say yes,
you,
you're right. Your life does matter.
Exactly.
yeah,
You're not gonna be like, well,
Yeah.
my life matters too. We know that. That's a given.
yeah,
No,
So
no,
that's all
but
we
no.
saying. We
Let's
just
just
saying
pretend.
like
Let's
we
just
our
pretend
life
I'm black.
matters. Like stop letting people the police kill us like and just get to go home and have the rest of their lives to live. Like how is that? That's not
all
okay.
right, all right. Y'all was finna bring up Breonna Taylor then. Go and bring her up because I got a point to prove.
Well, do your
Okay,
point.
bring up Breonna Taylor, my guy.
Okay, I again, just like George Floyd, how I seen the video in the beginning with Breonna Taylor, I seen the police report from the beginning. Where's that same police report? I got the police report too. It might take me a little minute to bring it up, but I could bring it up.
Hold on, no, you know the police report was to another address. It didn't, and like if we're gonna get on that, then because she died for nothing, big bro. Like
Listen, let me tell you why she died, bro.
because she was
Uh,
asleep. Because she was
uh, uh, I gotta get the names right. I gotta get the names right. So
yeah,
it was Jamarcus Glover and it was some other dude. I forget the other dude's name, and I don't know who was who. But whoever she was in that house with in that bed, when the police announced themselves, then he came and started shooting. So
first.
what's
He didn't
gonna
shoot first. He didn't shoot
he
first, big
shot
brother.
first. He shot first.
So did they have a warrant or what?
If they shot,
Yeah, they
if
had
he
a
shot
warrant. They
first,
had a warrant.
For
if
their
he,
house or for somebody else's house?
They had a warrant for the house that Breonna Taylor was in. I don't know if it was Jamarcus Glover house or the other dude. I forget his name.
they didn't have a
I,
warrant for her house, bro.
they had a warrant, bro. They originally had a no knock warrant, but then they said we gonna go ahead and knock. You know what I'm saying? It was fumbled. The whole situation was not handled correctly.
Yeah, because it
But
seems like you trying to justify the killing of a sleep black woman.
I'm not trying to justify anything, bro. I'm just telling you exactly what happened. I don't justify. Why the fuck would I justify a person being killed?
That's
I'm
what
a
I'm
human
saying,
being, bro.
and that's what I'm trying
That could have been my relative. Why the fuck would I
exactly. So,
justify that?
It
and this
sounds
is
like
what
you've
I'm
been
asking. It
justifying
I
sounds like you
everything this whole
no,
justifying this.
time.
I ain't
Like
justifying
people are
nothing.
making
Just
bad
listen,
Okay,
choices because I'm
listen to
saying
what
what
I'm
I want to
saying,
say.
bro.
It
I'm
means
gonna
I
listen. I'm gonna
deserve
try
to
to.
die.
I want you to clarify then. I want you to clarify
Don't
then,
put
bro.
no words in my mouth, bro. Just listen
I'm
to
not.
what
I
I'm
ain't
saying.
never did. I ain't
I
never
was
did.
talking
I
to
just
Meek,
want you to
though. I was
clarify.
talking to Meek. But okay, so they came to the house. They announced themselves. They originally was not going to announce themselves, but since that was a resident, they had the trap house, then they had the little just regular house. So they didn't. They announced themselves because they wasn't intending to find something. If they intended to find something, they're not gonna announce themselves. They're gonna bust in. But they was just trying to pull. See, because Breonna Taylor was involved. Don't think, and I'm not saying that. Oh, I'm not never gonna say that she deserved to die or she died because she was involved, because those two things are not mutually exclusive. She was involved though. She was knee deep in this criminal enterprise, and they tried to paint her as an EMT. She been lost her EMT license because she had a dead body in the back of the rental that was in her name. And that's all in the police report. It's a thick police report. I done
A
skimmed through it
police
all.
report that they wrote, the people that came in the house and killed her.
Look, it's a police
I
report.
mean,
That's all I'm
listen,
saying.
I know cops to lie, so please don't do that with me. They will lie in your face
I'm
like
not
I
doing
just didn't
anything with
do.
you. I'm
It
telling you
happened.
what.
Listen, I'm not
Listen,
talking hypothetical. It happened to me when I got pulled
I'm not
over.
type.
It's
All
not
right, but
hypothetical.
can I
The
finish though?
cop tried to tell me he pulled over because I didn't use blinker. You a
You
lie.
said
He
that.
used
You
my.
said that earlier, but
So
I was still going though. I wasn't done.
so what are we? What are we? You gonna believe a police report? Of course they gonna try
Let
to
me
make it
finish.
seem like
Let me
something
finish.
that it
I
might
was
not
not
be.
done. Okay, fine. I was not done. So what I was saying was she was involved. She was a person of interest in a murder. I don't know if she did it or not. I don't know who killed the person. And I'm a pull this up. And if y'all, I don't know if I can try to get this to y'all somehow, but I'm gonna pull all this stuff up and get it to y'all because the thing is this: she was involved in a murder. She was a person of interest. She had a rental in her name, and there was a dead body in the trunk. And and you got to understand something. When did she die? Did she die in 2019?
Yeah.
Okay, this investigation was going on before that. Okay, so she been done lost her EMT license, but let me tell you how the media paint her to be this innocent EMT. And I no disrespect because she died, bro. So I wish she wouldn't have died. I wish that wouldn't have happened like that. But she was not this innocent EMT where they just walked in her house and shot her when she was asleep. That's not what happened. Was involved in a criminal enterprise. She was knee deep in that. Deep in that. So when that dead body was in her trunk, she lost her EMT license because she was actively like a person of interest in an investigation. So she wasn't able to be an EMT no more because you got to have like a crystal clean record to do that. So she had been and lost that license. So when you see that picture of her with the roses in the EMT uniform, they make that like she was currently an EMT and she wasn't. She been and lost that license. That's all I'm trying to
Okay.
say. I'm trying to point out the deception from the media. That's all I'm trying to point out. She was involved in criminal activity, and it comes down to who she was associated with because they didn't have her best interest at heart. And whoever
Okay.
that was that busted at the cops first, they are the reason she got killed. They shot at the cops, and you know they're gonna shoot back, and they're gonna dump the whole clip, and that's what happened. And she got hit like 12 times, and he didn't get hit once. I think it's a problem with that. But it was his fault that she got killed. And the police report even stated when they intercepted the jail call, I can't remember who it was. I think it was her best friend. She was like, "Why did you move sloppy? You end up getting beat, killed." That's all. I'm gonna pull this up so I can prove with receipts. It's
Send it to
all
me,
in the
bro.
police. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that, or I can just tell you the website. Well, matter of fact, I do it. And I figure it out. But I'm gonna link all this to you, bro, because the media straight up lied about that, bro, to push this narrative that they've been pushing since since after Trump got in office, bro. It's no coincidence. And even before that, they've been pushing this same agenda that they just hunting us, bro. They're not, bro. Her boyfriend is the reason she got killed. Period. Her boyfriend is the reason she got killed. He's a coward. And he didn't even say nothing about it. He didn't get on the news and apologize. He done went scot free and they said nothing about it. He's the reason she got killed. He shot at the cops and they busted on his ass, bro. But they didn't hit him though. They hit Brianna, and that's usually how it happens. His coward ass didn't get hit once.
All right, you can take this.
Trump supporter, I agree with you about the media. I hate TV. I hate the news. Lindsay no. She'd be like, I'd be like, girl, I don't know who that is. I hate TV. I hate it. And I've always said if we just didn't everybody in the US didn't watch TV for a week, we would probably be a better nation because we don't have the
Agreed.
media and whoever else telling us something. Just go on with your life. Some places might be worse than others, but it'll still probably be a better nation. And I absolutely agree with you on that. Somebody that's an EMT, that does not make them an angel. I don't care what you are. That doesn't mean you're an angel. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't believe,
I get
I'm
that.
not that kind of person where I'm just like, oh, such and so did. But all I'm saying is, you shouldn't be able to come in somebody's house and kill them. If that man shot at them first, then
They
you
had
are
a
right.
warrant.
He is the
They had a
reason why.
warrant.
Huh?
They had a warrant.
I mean, no, I'm saying,
A
but
no knock warrant, man.
warrant
Okay,
don't mean come in and shoot.
let's get the facts out here. Yes, he did shoot one time, and they did empty the clip on that residence.
Like they gonna
However,
do every time.
they had a no knock warrant. They did not. However, they did not announce themselves. So, no, it is not his fault that Breonna Taylor is no longer alive. It is the
Okay.
police fault because they should have announced who they were, and maybe he would not have shot. But if
Okay,
Because
I
somebody
in
mean,
is coming into
warrant,
your
they don't have to have one.
if somebody is coming into your residence and you don't know who they are and you're not expecting nobody to come in,
I'm
then
going to
you
shoot them.
will be on alert.
I
exactly.
was just about to ask Miss Janie because you know that if we flip it around because that was just wrong on every level. Miss Janie, if somebody came in, knocked on
I'm
your
going to
door,
shoot.
and
I'm going to shoot
said,
them.
you would have blew
Um,
their
Yeah,
ass.
if somebody comes through my front door and busts through my front door, I'm sorry, but I'm packing. You're going to
Exactly.
get shot.
that's the
I
thing.
love
They didn't do that. They didn't bust in. They just
Yes,
boom,
they
and
did.
then
They had a
no, they
no
didn't.
knock
That's what
warrant.
they
They
had.
had
That's
a
what they
no knock
figured out.
warrant. They didn't serve it. They knocked and then announced their stuff, and the
They did
witness
They did
said
not
that they
announce
heard that.
themselves.
They didn't
The
announce
They
they.
witness,
did not announce themselves. They did knock, but they did not announce themselves.
the
So
witness
if
say
somebody
that. The witness says that he heard, he or she, whoever it was, heard police and knew it was the police. And if the neighbor heard that, then I know that I don't know what his name was, Demarcus Glover, or I gotta find it. But he heard police, and he made the
that
decision
does not
to
I,
shoot at the
necessarily
police.
mean that somebody in the back of the apartment in the bedroom can hear somebody say, "Oh, it's the police." You no, you're not. No, we're not about to do that.
well,
We're not
I
about
do
to
know
do
they
that.
dropped the charges on
And they
him.
dropped the
They dropped
charges
the
on
charges
him.
because they didn't hear it
Oh,
on any. They didn't hear it on any police cam.
drop the charge on who? The
They
They
police
dropped
dropped
officer?
the
the
charges
charges
on dude.
on the guy, on her
On the
boyfriend.
dude.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
they dropped charges on him because they didn't hear it in any of the body cams that they announced themselves.
My issue is that the
So if they
witness,
couldn't. My
the
thing is, if
witness
they
said
couldn't hear it on the body cam, if they couldn't hear it on the body cam, how can he hear it?
exactly.
it was a witness that heard it, so I don't understand.
But the body
But
cam didn't.
But if the
it,
witness heard it, wouldn't the body cam have picked it up?
yes, it should have. So, and then the witness said, "Oh, I heard it," and then turned around and said, "I didn't hear it." So I don't know what type of tomfoolery going on with that situation.
That because
So,
But
they didn't say that.
It sounds like somebody's lying because a
so
body cam can
somebody is, somebody
a
is
body
definitely
cam
lying.
pick it up, and the body cam did not pick it up. But I'm sure they picked up everything else, like when they was talking over her body disrespectfully. They picked that up, but they didn't pick them up saying, "Hey, it's the police."
Okay,
That means they
so
did not say that.
so here's my thing. Even if the police didn't announce themselves and he shot first, the of course every time that happens, the police gonna dump the whole clip every single time.
and so am I.
So uh,
Right.
okay, so I mean,
When
why is the narrative? Why is
do
the narrative
know to
innocent
somebody
black
how
woman?
you do that, the police should have some type of mindset that this cannot turn out good.
Because that is an innocent black woman, though. Like I just want to answer that question. It is an innocent black because you are innocent until you're proven guilty. So they did kill an innocent black woman because they haven't proved her guilty of anything.
He was not guilty of anything, and I already said that.
So
Her
she's an
her
innocent
dude
black
her dude was her.
Her
It's her
dude,
Her
dude,
dude
bro.
is not her though.
I don't
Like
even
you
think that
can't.
man had ever been
Bro,
arrested.
he shot first, and
Sorry,
they
baby.
dumped the clip.
woman. I would shoot first.
Anybody would shoot first. If somebody was coming into your house, you're going to shoot.
Okay, that's I understand that, but the narrative is that they hunted down Breonna Taylor. That's not true.
They hunted her down.
Nobody said that.
Everybody, LeBron said that. Everybody said that. That's the whole
Nobody said
narrative.
no. I never
That's the
seen.
whole narrative.
I've never
That
seen
that
that
she was
narrative that they hunted
asleep
her.
and they was trying to find a black person to kill. That's the whole narrative. It's
No,
always
that's
the
not the
narrative.
narrative. It's not that they're hunting
No,
us.
you're getting your black people mixed up because that's what happened to
No, I'm
Ahmaud
not.
Arbery,
No,
basically.
I'm not.
That is what
Yeah,
happened to
that's what
Ahmaud
happened
Arbery.
to
And
Ahmaud.
we can bring that up too. But that's the whole narrative. Even LeBron posted that on his Twitter. A bunch of celebrities post that on their Twitter. That's the whole narrative, bro.
But
Like
that,
that's
no, but that
I
wasn't
mean,
just for Brianna. I get what you're saying, but that just wasn't for Brianna. That was him saying that they are hunting us down, and that's what it looks like. Like you said,
he mentioned Brianna specifically though. He
everybody's
said,
gonna everybody's gonna mention Brianna because she got killed for nothing.
Literally.
So everybody's
yeah,
gonna mention Brianna.
But I'm
But
asking you who's
he wasn't saying
faulty though.
Breonna in general, big brother. He wasn't saying they headhunted Breonna Taylor. He's saying people like Breonna Taylor are getting gunned down. We are getting hunted, which and a narrative of the media, they are that's what they're showing. They're showing it looking like they are hunting Black America down.
And
That's
that's a
what it
false
looks
narrative.
like. That's why I said I
And
totally
that's
agree.
a false narrative.
I don't think that they're hunting us down, but they feel like nobody's gonna care if I kill this person. So that's what they do, and they get away
Exactly.
with it. That's the problem. It's not that, oh, I'm gonna go
Why
hunt
we
a black
say
person
Black
and kill
Lives
him
Matter.
today. But if I kill him, ain't nobody gonna care. So it ain't gonna be this is just gonna get swept up under the rug. And that's where Black Lives Matter
Hmm.
comes in, because it's like, can
Hard
y'all
disagree.
please like give us real justice for real? Like,
Right.
forget
It's
all
like
the forget
you
all
have
the
to be
adults.
reminded that we matter.
Yeah,
Yes, in a perfect world, all lives do matter. And to the majority of us, all lives do matter.
Yeah.
But the way that we are being killed, it's like we have to remind y'all, hey, we're over here. We matter too. But no, y'all don't want to accept the fact that we matter too, because it's what it's looking like in the media and in the statistics and all that. It's not looking like we matter. So that's the reason why we have Black Lives Matter, to remind y'all, hey, we matter. Stop killing us.
Right. But it's like Miss Janie. Miss Janie, if I came to you and I told you, if I told you Black Lives Matter, would you feel like I was being defensive with you?
No,
Or you just feel like that, and that's how I feel,
that's just how you feel.
and I should have a right for that feeling, right?
Well, yeah, we all have rights.
And yeah, we have a right to that feeling. Just like
Yeah.
if you told me, if you said all lives matter, if you know what I'm saying, out of nowhere, if you was just like all lives matter, Troy, I would totally agree with you. But I would also say
Would that offend you if I said all
that,
lives matter?
that wouldn't offend me at all, because that wouldn't be what I came off with. Now, if I tell you if I told you Black Lives Matter and you answered that with all lives matter, then I would be offended, because that's a conflict of what the protest is.
How would you
See now,
feel if
and
you said white
that's
lives
where
matter?
I don't. But that's where I don't. Okay, and maybe it's my own. And don't take it that I think that I'm stupid, but maybe it's my own ignorance, because to me, um, and maybe I've worked overtime on because of living on a farm in Arkansas and not being around black people.
Shout out to
Um,
Arkansas.
you know, um, to me, when somebody says Black Lives Matter, police lives matter, all lives matter, it's kind of like saying Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. Okay, you're just telling me that you're Jewish versus Christian. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not offensive.
Right
But
now,
but it's offensive if we're celebrating Hanukkah and you come in talking about, well, what about Jesus's birth?
Exactly.
Christmas.
That's what I. Yeah,
That's
that's what
when
I was
it's
about to say.
offensive.
Are you doing that because you're always with me on Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
all right. So let me say this. Let me say this. Then let me ask this question when y'all get y'all couple chuckles out there. Okay. So Troy, you say Black Lives Matter, then and then I gotta use you, Jenny. I'm sorry. I don't want to
I
use
mean,
a random
you
white
use
person.
me all you want to.
I gotta use you because you here. So Troy say Black Lives Matter. Jenny say White Lives Matter.
Oh,
So how would that make you feel, Troy?
You have to put that in the narrative of what you just said. If I said Black Lives Matter and Miss Janie turned around and said White Lives Matter, then I understand that what she's doing right there is she's building the block between us.
yeah. I just put a wall in between us by saying that.
Exactly. She just put the wall there. Because if
Okay.
That now, wait a minute. That's my opinion. Because that's not even remotely close to saying all lives matter. Um,
Okay.
that's not remotely close to that.
Are black people the only oppressed people on the planet? Is
Black
just
people are
because
not the only oppressed people on the planet, big bro.
okay,
But you have to
second
understand.
question.
no,
But that, hold on, because I got to finish your first question. the thing is, like we all said about the media is showing a demographic of uh, police, majority of them white, killing black men and black women and black children. So, in that narrative of me saying Black Lives Matter, if she turned around and said White Lives Matter, that's just a whole wow, because that ain't got nothing to do with all lives or the police. It would have been a different narrative if she was like, well, blue lives matter too, or all lives matter too. She right there put a stigma up that we ain't even talked about in the media. That would just be her prejudice stepping down and saying, I don't give a fuck about black lives, white lives matter. That's what that would have been to me.
Okay.
That
And I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
yeah.
Okay. Based off conversations that I had with white people, uh, they say that white people go through certain issues too.
We
That's
do.
There's a certain amount of black privilege that we have now too. If we got white privilege, then you gotta talk about black
Well,
privilege.
okay, I'm gonna just throw this out there. When's the last time you seen some white chick walk into somewhere and call somebody a nigger?
You ain't never she can't do
You
it.
better not ever
You
say
can't
that.
do it. So you do have a black privilege because you guys can call each other niggas, niggers, whatever. And to me,
Yeah,
that's offensive as hell.
yeah.
It
It's
should
even
be to
offensive to white people.
Miss Janie, it should be offensive to you. But
But
my
you
thing,
even say it. No, no, no. Wait a minute, Lily. Back your ass up,
Miss
buddy.
all right,
Janie, I have a question when you're done.
Okay. In when I first logged into Spotify and says, you can listen to this deal, and you said, even you old niggas, that would be Twitter for you old niggas. So back your black ass up, buddy. What you said is offensive.
Miss Janie,
Yeah,
what you just said was offensive, but go ahead.
No,
I,
no,
using
no.
using an
I got a
example,
I
that's
was
question.
not
gonna say the same
offensive.
thing, man.
I have a question, Miss Janie.
But I gotta.
So,
But my
oh,
ass is white. But I'm just saying it is offensive, and it hurts me to hear somebody use the N word.
Why does it hurt you, Miss
I
Janie?
was just about to ask that, Lily.
Because to me, if you look up the definition of nigger, it's dirty and pig like, living dirty and pig like.
So,
But
when white people call each other crackers or trailer
I've
park trash,
never heard a
that
white
doesn't offend
person
me because that
ever.
has no.
Me,
I'm being
I've
honest.
never.
That shouldn't offend me because one, they're not talking to me, and two, that don't have nothing to do with me. If that's the way y'all feel about each other, that's the way y'all feel about each other. If we calling each other niggas or whatever, why do you guys want to say, not you, but it's like a lot of white people that want to say that. Why do you want to say that if you know it's offensive when you say it to a black person? And that's
if
what
first,
they bring, that's what they say when they really want to offend a black person.
to,
Why is that?
And to
and
me, that's awful. That's just awful. It hurts me. I would
uh,
never,
It hurts her from a
never
place
in a
of
million
empathy.
years. I mean, if I walked up to Lindsay and said something, oh my God, I would expect her to double up her fist and pop me right in the mouth, even though I'm her mother's age.
and Lindsay supposed to. First of all, Miss Janie,
'Cause that's disrespectful.
before we go on any further, me, we don't use the hard R, and I grew up in a narrative where we were taught that nigga means never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. So, in my generation, because I'm an '80s baby, in my generation, when when we called each other, when we said my nigga or nigga, we put that in high resolve. We never put the hard R in there. We never called each other nigger because nigger is derogatory.
Correct.
So we never said that. So my thing is, if it hurts you because the derogatory meaning is wrong. But nigga shouldn't hurt you. It's just a word you can't say because it wasn't acclimated to you.
Then that's a black privilege. Don't I mean? Am I missing something?
She
I never
still got
said
the
no.
right to feel however
That's
she
right
want to
there. I
feel though.
never say, and I'm not even gonna say it's a black privilege. It's just something that we have that's hard. You know what I'm saying? It's the thing.
The
Uh,
one thing.
That's the one thing that we have that's ours, and and we choose to say it how we want to say it.
Right.
That has nothing to do with the powers that be that move society in general. You know,
Okay.
because for case in point, Obama never got on stage and was like, "What's going on, my nigga?" Like he never did that. That's just that's something we say in front of each other for terms of endearment or how we address each other, just period. On rap songs or anything, that's what we do. It has nothing to do with anybody else. I think a lot of people, and I'm not saying it's you, but I think a lot of people or people of different races have a problem with it because it's something that we have on our own and nobody else has.
Right.
Nah, I,
I think
no,
nah, I'm having a tough time with that because
exactly.
if you're going to talk that way amongst yourselves, what are you expecting other people to think about you as a person?
They could. What do you mean, Miss Janie?
Well, I don't know how to put it any. Lindsay, help me.
Like
Um,
because
I kind of see where she's going with this. Because outside of the black community, people look at that word as a negative word. That's it. Whether it's a hard R or a H, however you want to
right,
put,
DJ,
whatever
them
you
was
want
two
to put
different
on
words.
the end. Us in the black community look at it as two different words. So with somebody outside of the community looking into the community and hearing us say that, they're like, how could y'all call each other such a negative word?
Right. How do you expect? Oh boy, I don't want you guys all yelling at me and hating me for this.
Oh no, Miss
So,
Janie.
Miss
No, we're
Janie,
not gonna hate you, Miss Janie.
How do
Miss Janie,
you expect?
Miss
Hmm?
Janie,
Can
Miss
you
Janie.
just say the N word, please? Thank
Yeah,
you.
Yeah,
yeah. Let's not say the
No,
word.
I'm not going to say no, 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 no. I'm not going to. I'm Meeks. I'm done saying that. I don't like it. It's offensive. But I just wanted to understand why
so easy,
it's
Miss Janie.
okay for Black people to say it. But the thing of it is for myself personally, and somebody, not everybody, please, but somebody explain to me, if I'm looking in and I'm hearing this, I'm like, well, how in God's name are they going to get any better if they're going to be so disrespectful to one another?
And that goes with what I was trying to explain. Like outside of our community, you guys look at it as it being one word and it's all offensive.
I
Inside of
mean,
our community,
but
look at it as two different words.
right,
But
and that's the hard part for me.
that's the hard part here. But what we need you and everybody outside of the black community to realize is that that word coming from outside of the community can get your ass whooped.
Yeah,
And rightfully
Listen,
so.
listen. Uh,
There's so many other words in the English dictionary that y'all can use. That one, no matter what you put on the end, is off limits. And it's okay. It's okay. You have so many other words that you can use. Just
It's
that one,
kind of like,
and
yeah.
it doesn't need to make sense to you. It doesn't need to be understood why. It just needs to be understood that that's what's gonna happen.
uh,
Right, because I could use the word friend in the right connotation and it's going to be just as disrespectful.
You
In the
could.
tone,
yeah, and
absolutely.
the right tone it can be. My man DJ just said, would it be okay for him to say honky in a moment when he was upset at you?
I don't give a shit.
What it's kind of like the B word, and I censor
The
myself.
B
That's what
word?
Lindsay says.
What's
So
the
so
B?
it's kind of like the B word. If a
What's the
man
B
calls a
word?
woman a B, we're gonna be highly offended.
A bitch,
But if
bitch.
that's one of your friends, like somebody you hanging out with, you getting drunk, and they like, oh B, girl, you my B or whatever, you're not gonna be offended. It's kind of like that. So we don't want men to call us that, but
Yeah,
we can
Right.
call each other that. It's kind of like that
Agreed.
because I know white
Agreed.
women call each
ain't
other
trying to give
bitch.
me
I
no
don't know
pussy,
how
she a
old you
bitch.
are, but now they do. You know, if they your friend or whatever. So it's
Meeks,
kind of
I
like
agree
that.
with that. I totally agree with Meeks.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of the same thing. Like with gender, we can say bitch, but a man better not call us that. But it's the same. It's that with the gender as it is with the N word with black people and
Yeah.
everybody else.
Yeah, because I
And,
might have to get up on the table and punch somebody because I'm only 5'1.5".
and that's the thing. It's just like in the gay community. It's certain things gay people can say to each other that
Right.
we can't say to
Yeah,
a gay.
you don't use the F word.
Exactly. But
Right.
they can call each
But
other
they
that
can do
with
that.
no problem.
Exactly.
But you see that rule? If you don't have a problem with that rule, Miss Janie, you shouldn't have a problem with me saying nigga to Lindsay.
Okay. It still hurts my heart for Lindsay.
Well,
But
because
it
you're
doesn't hurt your heart when another woman calls another woman a B, and I don't mean in a mean way. I mean like, hey, that's my girl, you my B, or whatever. That
No, that
doesn't hurt
doesn't
your
bother
heart.
me at
But when
all.
you hear black people say, "Oh, that's my nigga right there," what's up, whatever, whatever. Sorry, N word.
Right.
Uh, uh like that hurts your heart. I mean,
I think a
it's
lot of it is the connotation that it's been brought up around me.
okay. I was gonna say maybe it's just from the like whatever's happened in the not
Because
necessarily
I'm a
personally
60s
with
I'm a
you.
60s baby, not a 80s baby.
Ah, okay. So
right,
I
right.
mean, yeah, I see because I know you've probably seen. I know you have seen way more than we have.
And
Oh
I
yeah.
get
So
I mean,
Miss Janie
so
because
you got to
I
understand on the Arkansas Missouri state line where I live, it said on this, and I should send you guys I will try to find it, Lindsay, and send it to you.
Mhm.
And there was a sign on the highway that says, if your ass is black, don't let the sun set on it here.
Sundown Town, I've heard of that.
yeah, my people is from Greenville, Mississippi. They also have a sign like that I've seen firsthand, so I know that's true.
And I never thought much of it as a child because I didn't know what it meant because I'd never known anything about a black ass. I never well, I'd never seen a black person. How did I know there's a black ass?
Right, right,
I'm
right.
thinking of a donkey or a mule. I was raised on a farm. I seen my first black person in Shreveport, Louisiana.
That makes
And I
sense.
was like, Mom,
Not to
what
cut you off, Miss
happened?
Janie, but one of our one of the people watching, DJ said he gets it. It hurts your heart because um the people that made it a hate word instead of a slang word for you. So it was a
Correct.
word that came from hate. So he understands why it hurts your heart so much
Right.
because you were taught it out of hate
Correct.
and we were taught it out of slang. So it's a difference. So he totally gets what you're saying, and I to a point I do too.
I totally agree with your whoever's talking.
Yeah, that was my man DJ. Um,
All right. Well, we have to say
Lindsay,
bye to me.
bye guys. I had a great chat with you guys. Trump
Meeks, it
supporter,
was
I'm with you
great.
on some of the stuff, not everything. Some of the stuff. Miss
Okay, that's
Janie.
cool. Cool.
Thank you for listening. Bye guys.
All right.
Thank
Bye. Thank
you.
you for coming on. All right. Well, we're at 2.5 hours right now, so we want to go on ahead and wrap things up. Before we do, I do have a question for Mr. Trump supporter.
Okay.
Um, what made you become a Trump supporter? Were you already a Republican prior to, or what?
Nope. The 2020 election was the first time I ever voted. So I was never into politics. I never cared about it, especially in '09. Like when Obama first ran, I could vote. I just didn't care to get registered. You know what I'm saying? But uh, then here come 2019, or yeah, 2019, or probably late 2018, and I never cared about the news. I had my convictions about media. They all putting spins on stuff and they're lying. When Trump first got in and they attacked them every day, I never really bought into that, and I really didn't buy any of it. I felt like I don't think he's that bad of a person. Then when 2018, 2019 hit, that's when I really start kind of paying attention to him because I was in jail at the time. So it's like the dudes in jail, they always watch CNN all day, every day, right? And
Mhm.
CNN will just like go in on Trump 24/7, like all day. Just he's the worst. He's so unpresidential. He's this, he's that. And they'll just go in on him all day. And I just used to look at it like, I don't even buy into this. To me, this don't make sense. So then after I got out late 2019, uh, I started looking into it because I was able to get on the phone and get on the computer and research and stuff like that. So I really started looking into some things and certain videos, certain commentators, certain things just opened my eyes and allowed me to look into it for myself. So I started seeing like this dude Trump is really putting America on his back and he's getting slandered for it, which brings me back to my point when I said how they're attacking our values. Look, Trump is the most American. I feel like he's the most American president we ever had. He's like you don't even really see that many American flags when Joe Biden and Kamala talk. You know, you see American flag. He's just like the most American president. He loves this country. So you see how much he gets attacked for loving his country. He loves America, and we all live in America. And to me, that's the most ridiculous thing, and it exposes this establishment that I talk about. From an establishment run deep, from media to education to big pharma, it's to Disney to Hollywood celebrities. It's like it's just a huge establishment, and they're all against Trump. You see, Nipsey Hussle. I like Nipsey Hussle, but I lost respect for him when he made that song. You know what I'm saying? You see, and it's okay to do that as a celebrity. You can outwardly just say F Donald Trump, and it's you see the onslaught of attack that's against him. But if you pay attention to his policy, we talking objective policy. We not talking we're not talking how you feel about him. We're talking strictly policy. He is doing some incredible. He did some incredible things for this country, and he's the first president in probably 30 years that had the balls to do it. Because most of these presidents from Obama, Bush, Clinton, the other Bush, all of them, they was pure sellout. You know what I'm saying? They sold out to that establishment, those powers that be that are behind the scenes. They sold out to that. They sold out to globalist agenda like wars, long wars that never end. They sold out to different things like the central banks and all these things with like when Obama was in office and we had the housing crisis or whatever it was, they sold out to these type of things. Trump was the dude that got in there and he had the balls to make the decision that was difficult. You know what I'm saying? Uh, of course, you're not everybody's gonna like him because he makes hard decisions. So not everybody's gonna like that. You know what I'm saying? But he was sacrificing. He was doing what he had to do for his country. You know
Do
what I'm
you
saying?
you think it was right for him to try to kick out immigrants, even though this is a town, this is a country built off immigrants?
He never tried to kick out no immigrant. He never was anti-immigration. He was about
Anti-Mexican,
protecting this country. If you want to come here, there are rules and regulations. Do it the right way. That's all it is. Do
but it's murderers and killers from every other place that
I
come
don't
to
care.
America to get a
That's
clean slate.
I
Uh,
don't care. That's
Germany
no
was
point to me.
Germany was one.
What's the point? My
I mean,
question to
the
you is
point
this:
is saying that because he tried to build a wall against Mexicans, and he tried to downplay Mexicans, saying they was bringing over prostitution and murderers.
they
But
were, and then it wasn't just Mexican.
hold on though.
The
Exactly though, but that's what I'm saying. It wasn't just Mexicans because even his people, not his people in general, but Germans in general were coming over here who were not, who were Nazi war prisoners. So they
Middle
did,
Easterners
they did,
as
they
well.
did a hell of a lot more.
Okay, so let me ask you this question: Do
Shit,
you
that's
have
not
a lock on
bringing
your
me.
front door? Do you have a lock on your front door?
I do.
Why? Are
I
you a
have.
racist?
No,
Are you a racist?
what does that got to do with?
Okay. Okay. What
What?
does racism have to do with us building a border to protect this country? That's a lock on the front
Are you
door. This is a
are,
cold country that
are
we
you
got
building
going
a
on
border?
here.
Are you building a border against the whole U.S. or you're only building a border against Mexico?
The issue is down south.
No,
There's no issue up north.
no, the
Ain't
issue
nobody
is
from
everywhere, B.
Issues everywhere.
The issue is
And
everywhere.
and if it was an
what?
immigration thing alone, then you would have to do something else and build a wall because the majority of the people that came over were coming through on planes. They weren't coming through from
Yeah,
Mexico. His problem was Mexico.
exactly.
That's the thing. It's
So
under
you
under the banner of immigration, but his problem specifically was Mexico.
no, he didn't have a problem with Mexico. The
He had
southern
Mexico.
border was an issue. There was an issue at the southern border. Who cares who was down there? The issue was at the southern border. Right now, there's still an issue with the southern border. There's a crisis
And
at the
a
southern
wall is
border
not gonna fix
because
A
it.
they done
wall ain't gonna
opened,
fix that, bro.
A wall is
huh?
not fixing
A
it.
wall ain't gonna fix that.
Actually, it is because Joe Biden just started considering building one because he done finally wised up with his
But
coward ass. He done finally thought, hey, maybe I should stop
people
people
build
from just coming in willy nilly. What?
people
Look, this
build
don't got nothing to do with race. Get race out of the equation. That's why I'm tired of white supremacy.
okay,
I'm
national
tired of this racial
That's
shit.
what I'm about to say.
That
Okay, we
look,
gotta.
the
It's still immigrants. It's still this is a nation of immigrants that is denying immigrants.
and Trump has always said that immigrants and diversity is what makes this country. He is
Then
not
why?
anti-immigrant. He
Then
is
why
not
build a wall?
anti-immigrant.
Why build a wall
Why
against?
have a lock on your front door? Why? Why did you lock your front door?
Just like you lock your front door, you have to lock your back too and your windows.
Bro, the issue is at the southern border. There's no issue at the northern border.
not the only issue.
That, but if so, do you?
There is,
So do you think
look,
just because they build a wall there, they're not gonna come everywhere else?
listen. Guns, drugs, human trafficking. That's what's going down at the southern border.
And
That's the
that happens
issue.
everywhere, B. That happens
That's
everywhere.
not an issue at the northern border. It's not an issue at the eastern border. It's not an issue in the Pacific Ocean. It's an issue at the southern border. Guns, drugs, kids getting fucking trafficked over here, bro. That is the issue that the media will not tell you about. That's why there is a border to stop any and everybody from coming over here. And you look at Biden now, done opened the border, and now human trafficking is through the roof. But did the news talk about that? Opioid crisis through the roof. It's coming from the southern border. It's
The
not coming from the northern border.
northern border.
Drug, fentanyl, meth coming from the southern border.
Meth
What are you talking about? There
Meth,
is a series.
meth is coming from a nigga named Israel that I know that live in Cameron, Missouri. What are you talking about, my nigga?
Meth is coming from the southern border. Heroin, not even heroin, fentanyl is coming from the southern border. Okay? It's coming from MS-13, who just so happens to be Mexican. And now Biden is just letting them in. And it's a huge crisis that the media does not talk about. When Trump was in office, he put that shit to an end. And Mexico knew that they couldn't send anybody over here. Now they sending anybody over here and they're not taking them back. You can't deport a Mexican now, even
Hold
if they are a criminal. And he was never anti-immigration. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He was about
on,
do it
bro.
the right way. This
Hold
is
on,
a
though, 'cause
republic.
I wanna correct you. Because in the years of 2016 to 2020, they said that it was way more drugs coming into America than it was for the past 8 years. So you can't say that everything that you just said, you negated when you said he was stopping things because he didn't. From 2016 to 2020, and you can Google this, it was more drugs coming into the US than the past 8 years.
I just said there was an issue at the border. The
Yeah,
issue was at the
that's
southern
not
border.
a
I just
border
said,
issue.
meth,
That's not a border issue. That's drugs coming in from everywhere.
bro. They
That's
come in from the southern border. I just said that. Meth, human trafficking, fentanyl. That shit is coming from the southern border. It's a
I think
huge
most is coming
crisis
from
going
Jocelyn.
on. And nobody wants to understand or believe this, or you ain't got to believe it, but nobody wants to understand it. There is a crisis at the southern border. What's the problem with fucking locking that shit up so any and everybody can't come down there? Even terrorists, not just Mexicans. Terrorists come up from down there too. They ain't even Mexican. They fucking Middle Eastern or some shit.
So,
There's an
so
issue
the
with that.
issues come from the border.
Children are being sent up by themselves. No accompany, no, not accompanied at all. They're just being sent up because they know if they come up here with these loose ass immigration laws we had, they can just come here and end up becoming a citizen. But the issue is they get intercepted and sold into human trafficking, and that's a serious problem. Humanitarian wise, that's a humanitarian issue. You can't let that shit happen. You can't
Okay.
let all these kids get raped when they come over here.
In
So
your own logic, bro. In your own logic, though. Because what you're saying is we okay. So we close up
Talita,
the
be
southern
quiet.
border. We close the southern border up, but the southern border ain't got nothing to do with Louisiana, Miami, or anything else.
Listen. You ain't gonna stop everything, okay? But the primary issue, I just said this 10 times. The primary issue is at the southern border. Southern border. So
So
you stop
everything
that.
is coming
You
from Mexico.
address the issue.
So we just gonna have everything going to Shreveport, Louisiana, and Miami, and
Look,
and that ain't.
you not gonna stop everything. You can't. But if there's a huge open crisis going on, do something about it. We are a country of laws. We are a republic. You can't just walk into America. Go
Okay.
walk to Mexico, walk into Canada, walk into China, walk into Venezuela, walk into fucking anywhere. You can't do it. Only America has spineless leaders who will allow this shit to go on. But you have to ask yourself, why are they allowing it? Do they have their hand in human trafficking? Do they have their hand in drugs? Do they have their hand in fentanyl and meth? Because we know they put crack in the community. Are they putting fentanyl in the community? Is that why they letting anybody come over here and drop that shit off?
But the southern border didn't put crack in the community. The
Bro,
government did.
the issue is at the southern border.
So
It's coming.
should we build
That's
a wall
that's
around the
the
government?
that's the bottleneck, bro. That's where it's coming from. That's like the source. You not gonna stop it. But if it's a hot spot right there, fucking do something about that. We are a republican and a country of laws, bro. You cannot let anybody come in here. This narrative about Trump being anti-immigration is false. He was not. His wife is an immigrant. He's not anti-immigration.
Yeah,
He
she
is a he had an immigration policy, but he was like, you got to do it the right way. You can't come over here and claim asylum and then stay over here. You got to stay in Mexico, claim your asylum, and when it gets approved, then you gonna come over here. Or it's different ways you can do it, but you're not just gonna walk to
How can
America.
you claim
It
asylum?
don't work like that.
I can't say I need asylum from Kansas City and still stay in Kansas City.
What?
Yeah, you just said I have to claim asylum, but I have to stay in a place where I'm claiming asylum from. I can't
Yeah,
stay here.
until listen,
I can't
bro.
stay in Kansas City and try to get asylum from Kansas City.
Everybody was claiming asylum and just coming over here. So you have to do something about it, bro. You have to say, okay, we're gonna review your asylum, and you have to stay there until we approve it.
Then
When
you're
we
gonna get
approve
me
it,
killed.
right.
You're gonna get me killed, bro. In your logic, you're gonna get me killed. If I tell you I am fearing for my life in Kansas City, I cannot
uh-huh.
stay here, and you say, okay, I'm gonna fill this paperwork out, sit in Kansas City until I get it ready. You are signing my death warrant.
Bro, the point is that there is laws. There were immigration laws under Trump. He pushed immigration policy. He was not anti-immigration. Look, okay, Mexico got some fucked up shit going on. But goddamn, we can't save every motherfucking body. They gotta save America first. America first. Do that sound familiar?
America first. America
That
is
was that's
also
who
built on
that's
immigrants.
who Trump
Let me.
that's what Trump was all about. America
Okay.
first.
Okay.
Yeah,
So let
we
me
can
ask you a
a
question, bro.
couple people can claim asylum, but damn, what the fuck? I mean, we can't save everybody.
So
shit.
check this out. Let me ask you a question. For the drug dealers and the murderers and the rapists that come in from the south border, would you do the
White
job
privilege.
that they would you do the job that they do?
I
That's
don't
how
understand.
I'm saying.
Reiterate that. I don't
I'm
understand.
saying, would you work for $8 an hour? Just you know what I'm saying? Just like well, and your logic, where the problem is. I you know what I'm saying? The murderers, the rapists, the drug dealers, all when they come to when they come to the United States and they get these jobs for $8 or $7.50 an hour, and they work their ass off to bring all the rest of the murderers and the rapists. And would you do the same thing?
Would I work the $8 an hour job?
Yeah,
What that got to do with anything?
it has a lot to do with it because though this is what the people are trying to well, I can't say people. I'm gonna say what it is right now. You are saying that it's a problem and they have to shut things down on that border, where some people that really need to come in and they're willing to work and
Exactly.
they're willing to work. Hold on,
Exactly.
listen, bro,
Thank you. Thank
listen,
you. Keep
listen.
going. Thank you.
They're willing to
Touche.
work these jobs for us, or they're willing to work these jobs for themselves and bring other people that they know need help in. But and you're saying in that logic, you're saying fuck that, lock the door.
Okay, listen. Touche. Thank
So
you. Thank you for proving my point.
hold on though, I'm not finished though. I'm saying though, are you willing to work the job that they work?
No. Hell no.
Okay,
Listen.
so
Because everybody thinks they're so damn entitled.
Listen. Here's my
what
thing. Listen. If they want to come over, they have a way to do it. But guess what? I'm not if I'm the leader, I'm not going to allow anybody to come over fucking it up for them. They trying to do it the right way. They're trying to come over here and work. They're not trying to come over here and traffic children, sell drugs and all that shit. They're trying to do it the right way. So they should have I told you 1,000 times, Trump was never anti-immigration. If you think he was, you don't know his policy. He was never anti-immigration. He had a ironclad immigration policy. You had to do it the right way though. Not anybody could come over here. And if you want to come over here and work at the damn chicken factory for $8, then you could. And it's not fair for them to have to wait 6 years when any damn criminal can just walk over here. That's not fair. Okay,
Can
so
I
you're
ask a
trying to push
question?
this anti-immigration narrative, and that's not existent, bro. There's never Trump never had an anti-immigration policy. If you say that, then you don't know policy.
Can I ask a question real quick?
yes, ma'am, Miss Janie.
Um, shouldn't shouldn't we try to employ the people that are already here first?
Exactly, America
Yes, we
first.
should. Yes, we should.
We
I mean,
don't.
Because people
I'm
willing to
not
work this job.
saying that people from other countries don't have the right to come over here. But
Nobody
what
said
I'm
that.
saying is, you know, to seek asylum, there's a process that needs to be followed. I'm not saying it's right, it's fair, or anything like that, but it is what it is. Okay. And if you want to be here, you have to follow the rules of how to get here. And we have so much unemployment, especially with COVID. Thank you very much. I lost my job. And now I'm out searching for employment that there's no way I'm going to even come remotely close to getting paid the little amount that I got paid at AIG.
Mhm.
And now also I have, because of my age, but that's a whole nother issue. I think that if I'm qualified for the job, I'm going to get it. I don't care what my age is. But I think that we need to work on employing, our own before we employ others, just for them to send it back to Mexico or
Yeah.
anywhere else for that matter.
And here's my thing.
What
I mean,
cheap
do you
hold on,
agree?
hold on, big brother. Because I want to integrate on cheap labor is something that was integrated by Republicans for tax issues for tax purposes. So you know, are you willing to work that $7, $8 job, Miss Janie?
If
Because
I need the money, you bet I am.
okay, I'm
You
glad you
you
said that
bet I
because
am. If that means I'm a greeter at the Walmart, trust me, you're gonna have the most pleasant introduction when you walk into Walmart you've ever had.
and I'm glad you said that because I'm another person that totally agrees with that too. But
I
my
mean,
Trump
if that's what I have to do to pay my bills, that's what I'm gonna do. That's the way I was brought up.
exactly, and me and you I was growing up the same way. But my thing, my Trump supporter said he ain't willing to do that, and so
Because I
my
don't have to.
what but what if you had to? Because these people have to.
And
Well,
Because
I'm
these
a Trump supporter. Now, wait a minute,
if I had to, I
Andre.
would. But I don't have to. I was
Well, I
answering the
don't have
question
to.
you asked
Sugar,
me.
but
honey, I'm
I want
58 years. Wait a minute, back up. I'm 58 years old, and I'm gonna retire because I can. Okay, but if I had to do it to pay my bills, I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm not so proud that it's beneath me to do.
Exactly.
Does that
I,
make sense?
I
I mean,
agree with you. Yeah, you're not too proud, but I'm saying because my man said he's not gonna do it.
Yeah,
well, if he
I
doesn't
answered
have
the
to,
question. I answered the question you asked me. You said, "Am I willing to work at a damn chicken factory for $8?" Fuck no. But
You,
if I had to,
hold
yeah,
on,
fuck.
but you didn't say.
But I
But
don't have to right
now
now.
you're trying to integrate it into saying like if I had to, but I'm saying these people have to.
That's them. That's not me. I'm more fortunate than them.
So
I'm
I'm
and
more
telling you,
fortunate than them.
because these people
and I
have to,
am more fortunate than
and
them
they're
too.
willing to, and they're willing to do it because they have to.
Go do it.
I just
I'm not
don't want
against that.
them doing it and sending that money back to another country,
And
which
that's what
whatever
they
country it
do.
is.
And
But
y'all,
But
y'all don't
that's
realize
the only
that.
option.
Y'all don't realize what the real problem is, bro.
No,
Y'all
but
arguing
that's
about
not the.
Mexicans.
Hold on,
Nobody's
bro. That's not the
anti-Mexican,
real
bro.
problem. That's not the real problem. And
Yeah,
only
we're
reason
still
why,
we
only
lost
reason
our
America
way
why
about
first.
I say
1
that,
minute.
only reason why I say
Damn
that is
America.
because I'm not gonna sit here and be that kind man. I have Latino roots, and I know family that send money. You know what
Me
I'm saying?
too.
So I'm not gonna say sending money over there is a problem because it's not.
We're not
Because
talking
I've
about
done
that.
it. What are you
The
saying then? Because
entire industry getting shipped to Mexico.
how's the industry getting shipped to Mexico?
Bro, listen. This is what happens because of the bullshit regulations that we have in America, this country that we live in. The bullshit regulations that Trump reversed and undid because they were stupid. You like people like Obama, spineless cowards, Bush, spineless cowards that just sign anything that get put on their table. You have these laws that make it hard to make it in America as a like we're talking about a big like corporation. So they have to ship that shit to Mexico. They have to ship that shit to Russia, China. They have to ship that shit because they're getting taxed out the ass in America. They can make the shit damn near free in China, but they getting taxed out the ass in America. So that's what the issue is. Like nobody's. I don't think there's a person in the world that's anti-Mexican, bro. Like or anti-immigration. But because see, America is the greatest country in the world. Period. That's why so many people want to come here. That's why we have so many immigrants. But you can't let anybody in. That's the period. And I done seen little comments on here. Look, you can't let anybody in, bro. If you gonna let anybody in your country, keep that same energy and let anybody in your house, bro. You're not gonna do it. You're gonna you're gonna select who can come in your house. You're not gonna let anybody in. That's not racist, bro. You're
And
just protecting your house. This is America. Trump protected America, and everybody hates him for that. And that's what I'm trying to expose. The media and the establishment, they are anti-American. They're against us. We're the enemy to them. That's what I'm trying to get people to understand. That's piggybacking on my point that I made way earlier, bro. Like we're the enemy. We're public enemy number one. They don't like us. That's why when Trump put this country on his back and fought for us, they attacked him. They don't even want Trump, bro. They want us. If
how
you
did
want a
Trump
people,
fight for us, bro?
if you want a group of people, go after their leader, bro. Attack their leader.
How did Trump
Attack the head.
fight for us?
Attack the head, and the whole body gonna fall. Y'all don't get that though.
How did Trump fight
Now
for us?
ask your question. How did he fight for us, bro? The policy that he put in place, he protected the country. He stopped that fucking child trafficking that was going on. They don't talk about that. Yes, they don't talk about that. That's why you don't know that he stopped that child trafficking that was going on at the border. That fucking fentanyl crisis that was going on. He stopped that shit.
It's still going on.
Yeah, it's still going on because you got Biden just reversing. Day one, he stopped.
It was going on when Trump was in presidency, but no,
not
bro.
as much. I just said you can't stop everything. You can't. That's impossible. But the laws that he put in place, bro, I'm starting to feel like y'all like drugs and guns and child trafficking.
I like guns.
Legal guns, bro. We talking about. Come on, man. Y'all not making sense. Child trafficking. How many times I gotta say that shit? That's the problem that was going on at the fucking border.
Hold on, big
Are
brother.
y'all with that shit?
Big man.
Do y'all like that?
You getting big man and child track and no, nobody likes child track.
Because y'all not paying attention to the problem. Y'all keep talking about Mexicans, bro. That's not the issue.
It's going on in every border, every coast. So
bro,
let's
how many times do I have to say the main problem was at the southern border? That's why the wall was built.
Where'd you hear that from?
Bro, from one, the wall is already there. Trump added to it and made it bigger.
You heard it from where? You heard you heard the southern border was the problem because of who?
Bro,
because of the media, because of Trump.
I don't gotta listen to Trump to say that, bro. That's just you can find alternative news sources that will report what actually goes on, bro. That's where I get my information from.
Okay, so you know it's going on everywhere too, and it's also
no, nobody knows
it's not
what's
going on everywhere. It's not going on everywhere.
No, I said nobody knows what's going on everywhere.
I'm just saying it's not just the south border. It know what I'm saying? It's everywhere too.
It's within the state.
It's within the state.
Okay, I'm gonna say it one more time. The issue is at the southern border. That's the main problem. It's not as big of a problem everywhere else. It's the main source of the issue is at the southern border.
I don't have no problem with you being a Trump supporter. Where did you get this information from? Where did you get that information from?
Listen, bro. Internet, independent researchers, it's all this shit is on the internet, bro. Like they report what they see. The problem is the mainstream media don't do that. Have you seen the mainstream media lately go down to the border and them fucking jail cells that's down there right now? When they try to attack Trump for saying kids in cages, it's kids in jail cells right now down at the border, way more than there was under Trump. Where's that kids in cages energy?
Listen, the kids in cages is from Trump. The kids in cages is from Trump, bro.
Are you sure, or is it from Obama and Biden?
When did Obama put kids in cages?
Are you sure?
Are you sure? Bro, are you sure?
The Obama-Biden administration built the cages. What are you talking about?
They built the cages?
They built the cages. Those pictures that you saw on your beloved mainstream media were from Obama and Biden's administration, and they flipped it and said it was under Trump.
I didn't watch it from mainstream media. Only thing the way I found out about that was through the whole ISIS movement. And when I looked that up and I found out they was putting kids in cages, that's when I found out. So
it's always been kids in cages, bro. It's always been kids in cages. But what I'm trying to tell you is that the Obama-Biden administration built the detention facilities down there. Now, why they built them, I don't know.
Kids in cages, though. That's the thing.
Was it for the kids?
It weren't for the kids when they built them.
Kids in cages, okay?
You know what? At this point,
this nigga like cheese and rice, nigga. Cheese and rice.
We just gonna have to agree to disagree on this. We're at 3 hours at this point.
Oh yeah, we
just need to go on ahead and wrap this up.
We're gonna
If
definitely get back to it though, Dre,
yeah, we're
because
gonna do a
I do
part
like
two.
your energy, man. So I really want to keep you on with this, man.
All right.
Yeah, we definitely
Great.
gonna have to do a part two. I do appreciate.
Bengals fan, bro. Go on somewhere, bro, because you ain't showed your face. You a Bengals fan. You're a Bengals fan, bro. You're a Bengals fan. Period. Fuck out
Okay,
of
and
here,
to answer Tamika, she asked a long time ago if I would feel comfortable calling the police under any situation.
Hmm.
Yes, I would.
man.
Because
Yeah.
I'm
Look,
calling them, they're not busting into my house. So I hope that clears up Tamika's question.
yeah, Tamika
That does
cool, but
answer
she
that
said something
That
question.
does
different.
answer our question. Yeah, that
Yeah,
does answer our question, Miss and Janie.
yeah. But I want to thank you, Miss Janie. I want to thank you, Trump supporter. I also want to thank Meeks as well. I want to thank Seven. He came in for 2 seconds and came and went back out. Something happened with his connection, I'm assuming. So
Right.
we're just gonna have to
Yeah, I'm
get
gonna try to get some more people though, because a lot of people, but a lot of people they can't, they really can't stomach this though. They can't just go back and forth and exchange opinions because they too busy trying to push something down somebody's throat. If somebody makes the decision to go against the narrative, they can't take that. You know what I'm saying? And they definitely can't take how I'm gonna go back and forth because I'm gonna come with real facts. Next time I'm a document everything I said because I came a little unprepared, but I'm a come with receipts though. You know
I
what I'm
respect
saying?
that. I respect that, bro. Like, let me say before we get up out of here, man, Dre, man, I really respect you, um, because me and you been knowing each other for a long time, and I really do respect, you know what I'm saying, how you feel about your opinions because you stand on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's one thing that I do respect about you above anything else is when you say something, you stand on it. And so I
yeah,
know what I'm saying that's one thing that we that in the society we really need more. So, you
I
know,
agree. I
that's the
totally
only way.
agree.
That's the only way we're gonna ever come to a agreement about stuff is if we all stand on our opinions because we all have the ability to agree to disagree.
yeah.
I
Okay,
agree
bro.
with that.
Gratitude though, for that.
Yep.
And it's always respect and love. Uh, you know.
Yeah,
I hope to be invited back.
we had our falling out over Candace, but you know what I'm saying.
Uh,
That's a
uh,
whole
uh,
situation. We can talk
uh,
about that next time, big bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But Miss
Okay.
Janie, man, I really respect you for coming out. Like I said, man, if I'm ever anywhere near you, I need those biscuits and gravy because I know you can make them.
Honey, you are more than welcome anytime.
I know you can make them. I appreciate you. From the bottom of my heart because I really wanted to have this conversation. So because at the end of the day, I want everybody to know that all of us can have this conversation and respect each other at the same time.
You bet.
Mhm.
You bet. And I agree with, I mean, like, Trump supporter. I mean, I like the fact that you stand your ground and no one's going to change your mind. You know,
Well, you can
that,
change my mind, but you can't really
no, I'm
shake
not
my
going to change,
convictions and
but
beliefs.
I'm not going to, well, then, yeah, I'm not, you believe what you believe. And I like that. You're not going to agree with somebody just to get past the situation. You're going to
Mm,
stand your ground on your belief,
yeah.
Right.
right, wrong, or
Well,
indifferent. I like it.
I appreciate y'all, complimenting me on my I don't know what you would call that.
Conviction. On
Yeah,
your
conviction. Yeah,
conviction.
I was about to
yeah,
say your
yeah,
conviction, bro. I really
yeah.
appreciate your conviction, man. Real life.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, we got to get more people though. I'm gonna try and see what I can do. Cause then, well, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Get
I
more,
don't know.
and
I
if you
gotta.
get somebody on, man, get somebody on. I want to hear everybody's opinion.
I'm just saying, I gotta pick the right people though. You know how people can get, bro. I gotta find the right people, bro.
Right.
But
Just
I'm
let
gonna
me
try. All
And
right.
Linda knows I love her.
Yes, love you too.
know. Miss Jenny, I love you now too. I met you this
Aw.
time. I love you to death.
Yeah,
You
it's definitely
know,
all love over here, Janie.
well, I mean, I'm the one who's going to always ask the question, you know, and I hope that it never comes off in an offensive way because that's never my intent. And thank God Lindsay doesn't offend easily
Right.
Yeah.
because I've asked her some hellacious questions.
It's all good. It's all good. We need that, man. We don't. Again, this is the Ish We Talk. I am Lily. This is Lindsay. Thank you, Miss Janie. Thank you, Dre. We gonna call you Trump supporter, but I know you're Dre, my nigga. You been Dre, my nigga. Without the hard R.
Yeah, yeah.
We gonna sign out, man. This is what we go. Excuse me, I forgot what we was called. This is the Ish We Talk, and we out exactly.
All right, thanks.
All right, y'all.
Bye bye.
Peace.